From a super fast flying centipede to a snake climbing a tree to a crocodile that runs as fast as a horse. A lot of crazy things have happened in this world that you would hardly believe. That's not all. Have you ever seen what is known as a ghost fish? It didn't die and come back to life, but has something much cooler. In this video, we're going to show you things so strange that if it was not caught on camera, people would say you were lying. Don't be scared, none of these things can actually hurt you. Well, unless you get near them, of course. Keep watching to see some of these crazy clips. Smartest orca alive. Some of you may already know that orcas are some of the most intelligent creatures ever known to humans. These animals are incredible. Not only do they learn quickly, but they can also communicate with and comprehend humans. However, what this orca managed to accomplish was beyond genius. At first, the orca had a fish that was given to it as a snack. The orca decided to put it to good use. It hurled it towards the seagulls, and then it waited until one of the unfortunate seagulls tried to get the fish. The orca used the fish as bait, and in the end, it was successful in carrying out its genius strategy. We should also add that it did this quite skillfully. We should all be amazed by their intelligence and skills. You don't get to see this every day.
Night walkers. Have you ever seen those spooky creatures people call night crawlers or soul walkers? They can give you the creeps, but they're also strangely calming. There's this video from California back in 2011 that shows two stick-like figures walking through the woods. They almost look like a family of ghosts, with one resembling a little baby ghost and the other maybe a ghost mom or dad. It's a peaceful and serene scene, and I hope they were able to keep wandering about undisturbed. A clown. Trail cameras are used to take pictures of animals in the wild, but sometimes they capture something really creepy. Like this one time, a man in a clown mask was caught on camera in the forest at night. We don't know what he was doing there, or if he was even a real person. The spooky clown stared right at the camera before vanishing into the woods, giving everyone the creeps. Who knows what other scary stuff is out there lurking in the shadows? A mouse deer. The deep, dark woods conceal secrets and elusive creatures that have managed to evade human detection. Despite our assumptions that certain species have gone extinct, they persist in their natural habitats, hidden from our eyes. However, a trail camera recently captured a remarkable sighting in Vietnam, a two-tone mouse deer that scientists believed had been extinct for 30 years. The footage astonished the world as it revealed a healthy and lively creature meandering through the woods. An elk. So there was a video that captured an elk on a trail cam wearing a tire like a necklace. Crazy, right? This poor elk had the tire around his neck for 2 years while going about his daily life. As time passed, his neck and antlers grew bigger, which made it impossible for him to remove the tire by himself. Luckily, wildlife officials came to the rescue. They gave the elk some medicine to make him sleep and attempted to remove the tire. Sadly, they had to remove his antlers too. But don't worry, the elk will grow a new pair of antlers in due time.
Deadly desert rattler. The desert adventure took a spine-chilling turn when they encountered a western diamondback rattlesnake, a predator with a lethal bite and a penchant for aggression. This snake was not to be messed with. The heart-stopping footage captured the daring human getting dangerously close to the rattler, who responded with a threatening display of its rattling fangs. A close call, reminding everyone to steer clear of dangerous animals, especially venomous snakes. The adrenaline rush from that encounter stayed with them for days, and the video became a viral sensation on social media. Spine-chilling encounter. Mike, the superintendent firefighter, found himself in an eerie forest during a raging fire. His encounter with the peculiar bobcat left him stunned. This particular feline acted unlike any bobcat he'd ever seen, and its unsettling screams sent shivers down his spine. Later, he stumbled upon an abandoned cabin, furniture turned upside down, raising questions about its sinister history. An unsettling and hair-raising experience that left Mike spooked and the mystery unsolved. Mike couldn't shake off the feeling that he had crossed paths with something beyond the natural realm. Spooky cave growls. A brave explorer heard eerie growls echoing in a cave and decided to record the chilling sounds. These unsettling growls could be from a bear, but there's also a possibility of a more sinister creature lurking in the darkness. The video adds to the mystique of unexplored and remote locations, where unknown creatures might still roam. The exploration of such places continues to captivate the human spirit and curiosity. Footprints around van. Isa, a content creator with a YouTube channel documenting her van life travels, experienced a terrifying ordeal one night while parked in her van. Awakened by knocking sounds near her ear at 4:30 a.m., she found herself alone and frozen with fear as someone appeared to be outside her vehicle.
I hear footprints. Hello? How can I help you?
The stranger knocked repeatedly and left her deeply unsettled. Later, when she examined the area around her van in the daylight, she discovered footprints all around it, adding to the mystery and leaving her questioning the intent of the mysterious intruder.
A man or a bear? What do you think? Is this a man or a bear? By its stature, it looks like a bear. It is a strange creature with a black color. But as you investigate the details, you'll notice that it's holding a stick and wearing a cap. These signs make us believe that it is a human. The image sparks curiosity and speculation. A girl and two deer. Deep in the jungle unfolds a heart-wrenching scene. Just look at the scared girl standing close to two deer. One deer looks straight into the eyes of the girl with curiosity. It raises the question of what possible secret can these two share? Or maybe the deer are considering the girl to be prey. Meanwhile, the other deer locks eyes with the camera, as if acknowledging its presence, drawing us into the world. A gorilla. Gardner, Kansas is known to have a mountain lion, so some people decided to install 2 trail cameras, and they saw some unexpected weird images. A gorilla engaged in a bloody struggle with a terrifying being. To our surprise, a mysterious entity that appeared to be a human and wolf moved through the area using a walker. The search for the mountain lion took an unexpected turn, entangling it in a strange, wild encounter. Discovered a monster. This photo can scare you all. We believe it to be a photo of a monster trying to hide its face with a veil. The dark night intensifies the details of the monster. What lies beneath that concealed face? Come along with us as we set out on a quest to discover the mystery surrounding this frightening creature. But be careful. Once revealed, the monster's face can frighten you in your sleep for the rest of time. 3 mountain lions on a stick. You'll be surprised to know that this trail camera captured 3 mountain lions standing on a stick. You may think it is artificially created because how can 3 lions stand on a stick? But believe me, this camera found this incredible shot. The first lion is roaring and the last 2 are gazing with shining eyes. Stay tuned to our journey into the wild as we explore the world of these magnificent creatures. Human-like wild creature. Be prepared for a strange encounter. In this image, a being with a human-like body stands tall, but its head distinguishes it from the rest. It is perfectly still, a mesmerizing sight. What lies behind its unusual appearance? Is it a being from another world? Or maybe a creation of nature's enigmatic design? As we gaze upon this mysterious figure, we are reminded of the vastness of the unknown. Giant humanoid. The fact that size defines whether you're a prey or a predator in the animal kingdom, this giant humanoid could certainly have followed the same ethos. The uploader of this video was out celebrating a holiday at a ski resort in the outskirts of Colorado and noticed a giant humanoid that was hiding behind the edge of a tall tree line. It was staring out at a large group of people while being relatively stationary. The author of the video added that it was vaguely human-shaped and stood to be 8 to 10 feet tall. The idea of it attacking people that were celebrating terrified him. But since entities are far more intelligent, they have eluded capture. Unusually scary snake. As if the average python or a venomous snake wasn't scary enough, a team of treasure hunters were exploring an ancient cave in North Dakota, where they stumbled upon a massive yet terrifying discovery. An unusually huge and scary-looking snake, or a cave worm, appeared out of nowhere, squirming its way out of a crevice. Instead of screaming or getting panicked, they remained extremely calm as this ancient being was slithering its way closer to them. Unlike any other snake, it was reported to be much faster, as it was using its tiny feet as well to move. Many believe that this was a beast and that it was guarding some cursed ancient treasure. Tree cryptid. You may believe seeing something like this to be a hoax until you get a closer look at it. A woman was spending time with her young son in her cabin when she sighted a long limb stretching outwards from behind a tree as the dog started barking at it. With the cabin being next to a forest on the outskirts of Rio de Janeiro, she sensed danger and asked her husband to investigate. Upon getting a closer view, it looked to be like the mythical cryptid called the Pombero. This infamous being is best described as a small, hairy, human-like creature that lurks in woods and steals small animals, birds, and even humans. Another Bigfoot. With years and years of rumors of their existence, they finally are getting caught in the spotlight. This is another Bigfoot that was caught on camera by two men passing through the Assiniboine Forest in Winnipeg, Canada, while vlogging. Unlike any other sightings, this one was much closer, as the driver and the Bigfoot were moving parallel, being only spitting distance away from each other. As the footage made its way to the internet, many started speculating that this could most likely be a grizzly bear or a baboon. But if you look closely, no bear walks on just two of its hind legs, while baboons are not solitary. Dancing mummy. Either this is some extra-dimensional being that is displaying its fascinating array of powers, or a dancing mummy that looks to be quite intimidating. A group of friends, while returning from a camping adventure in West Virginia, noticed a bizarre-looking figure in the dark. It looked to have a human body with some sort of white cloth or rope coming out of its arms. With the recorders in panic, despite it being a dozen yards away, they weren't able to get a clearer view. Judging from what we can see, it sure looks to be something like that of a mummy.
The obsessed leopard. Guess who's the Mirror's biggest fan? Drumroll, please. It's the leopard! Who knew these wild cats were such big admirers of themselves? This leopard found a mirror in the jungle and went all out, smothering it with affection. He even left some personal touches, coating it with his fur oils like it's a fancy spa treatment. But hey, can you blame him? With those stunning spots and sleek moves, he's the king of the runway. And just in case you're wondering, no, the elephants didn't share the same fascination. They're just too busy being cool giants, not mere fans like our stylish leopard. The Long Island missing posters. A hiker stumbled upon a trail of missing persons posters, all with the same face. Now, that's the stuff of nightmares. And the creepy journey didn't end there. It led to a cage with ripped clothes, more posters, and more suspicious liquid. Are we in a crime scene or a Hollywood thriller? Turns out, it was just a Halloween prank by some nearby folks. But hey, who needs sleep when you can have an adrenaline-fueled hike, right? So, if you're ever in New York and see a missing poster trail, just follow it to your own horror adventure. The Lansing Deer. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a new star on the dance floor. A deer. Yes, you heard it right. Yellowstone National Park's got some serious dance fever, and it's all thanks to this groovy deer. Trail cams captured the majestic moves of this hoof sensation, leaping and dancing like no one's watching. It's like a woodland ballet with a touch of jazz. Scientists are scratching their heads trying to figure out what's got this deer busting moves. Maybe it's practicing for its debut on Deer's Got Talent. Either way, we're in awe of this dance phenomenon in the wild.
Large being hiding behind a tree. Yowie researcher Dean Harrison and his Australian team put infrared cameras to the test in Springbrook National Park in May 2021. Later that evening, they get this enigmatic clip. Thermography appears to show a big, solitary being sheltering behind a tree trunk. A few minutes later, what appears to be two creatures bend over to pick up something. If you look at their heads, they don't resemble humans. Additionally, the researchers claimed that no human would ever be at this location at this time of day, let alone at night. Bigfoot researchers are confident that everything here fits with what is known to be true. Even when the settlers arrived in the late 1700s, their continued use in storytelling and cave drawings show that they had existed since the time of the Aboriginal people. They had their own encounters with the Yowie. A huge black bear. After a child kept informing his father that he was seeing a bear next door, a trail camera captured this really humorous moment. Evidently not believing him, the father decided to set up one of his old trail cameras. As we can see, this enormous bear has established a home in the crawl area of an abandoned house. This big man is out and about and having a good time. Black bears can be nasty animals though, and can be rather aggressive. Weird creature found in woods. When people think of spooky clips captured by trail cameras, they frequently conjure up visions of ghostly children gazing around. However, as this video demonstrates, not all scary characters are dead. A hunter who wanted to monitor wildlife in the forest near his property used a trail camera, which captured this picture of a freakishly tall man wearing a mask and holding a machete. It's unknown why the man in this clip, who doesn't seem to be aware of the camera, was in the woods on the night it was shot. However, the fact that he chose to cover his face would indicate that his intentions were anything but pure. This individual was never seen there again.
A ghost girl. A home security camera in Texas ended up recording a girl dressed in all white walking through the backyard. When the family saw it, they were all perplexed as the girl was not someone they knew or had ever seen. But then, who was it? A ghost? Or just someone pulling a prank? A creepy being. Humans have a natural curiosity that drives them to investigate anything unusual. But in this particular case, a man took his curiosity to the extreme. He heard strange sounds coming from the woods and decided to explore it late at night to see if he could find anything interesting. To his surprise, he stumbled upon a strange creature behind a tree, making weird whistle-like sounds.
What the hell is that? What the hell?
Realizing the danger, he quickly ran away as fast as he could without looking to see if the creature was following him. It seems his curiosity got the best of him in this scary encounter. Amazonian dog. The Amazon rainforest is a place where you can find unique and unusual creatures. People often put trail cameras there to capture these animals. Recently, a rare Amazonian short-eared dog was spotted on one of these cameras. The species was thought to be almost extinct for a while, and researchers were losing hope of finding any. However, this video gave them new hope. The dog was just sniffing around in the forest like any other day. Teams have been sent to locate the dog so that it can be kept safe in a preserve and live longer. A genet. When these pictures went viral online, they really got people talking. They show a little cat sitting on top of some big animals, which surprised a lot of folks. Nobody could believe how chill the cat was about it. Some people even made jokes about the cat being the boss of all the other animals. But then some experts gave their 2 cents and said that the cat, which is called a genet, was likely using the other animals as a lookout point to find prey. That's pretty clever if you ask me.
Bobcat hunts deer. This deer hunter was surprised to spot another one in his backyard camera. A man from Pulaski County shares footage of the bobcat attacking a doe at night. But the thing which shocked him was the size of the cat, as it was way smaller than the doe. Sadly, not a video, but the man shares a series of pictures showing the incredible attack. Here is the deer on the ground, and that's when the ambush predator makes his first move. And at last, a strong bite on the neck, and here it is, the miserable end of the poor fawn. Striking and striking really hard. Here, see how it takes down the venomous rattlesnake with only its paws. Coyote and deer. An injured buck could be seen standing in front of the trail camera, and behind it, there were two small but extremely hungry coyotes waiting for the buck to pass out so they could enjoy their meal. And though awake, it feels like the buck has lost all his hopes for life, as it does not fight with the coyotes approaching it. But it does not always end with the coyotes winning the fight. Like here, when the mama deer realized that a bush wolf had been following her fawns. She stands in front of the camera, gathers her two fawns, and goes off into the forest. And then, after a few moments, the mama deer was seen again, this time running after the coyote and missing it with some inches to catch it. And later, she was caught circling around a bushy tree trying to catch the running coyote, though missed it, but yet saved her babies from the predator. Hyena chases wildebeest. Capturing the herd of wildebeest in the safari, the people were given a surprise by the coyote that came rushing towards them. Though the rest of them follow the rule, stick to the herd, one of them can be seen separating. And taking advantage, the predator started following it, even though taking it a little far. The coyote was still struggling to catch it. Playing the run and chase game for some time, they were both spotted again, but the wildebeest was caught fighting the predator off. But, tired of the chase, the animal met his fate at last. Running predator. Driving near an abandoned town, a man spotted this scary animal walking ahead of his car. Not recognizing it at first, he thought that he had spotted a creature straight from the other world because of its half-bushy body and the scary-looking figure in the dark. And it was when he flashed a light over it that the man realized it was not something creepy, but he had actually spotted a hyena that was looking horrid due to no light present in the area. And the creepy thing coming out of its mouth is the half of a body of a wild animal, most probably a deer, or perhaps a zebra.
A brave man. This footage might not be as disturbing or creepy as many others in today's list, but this is unusual nonetheless. As we see this Florida man dancing along with the alligator, we can't help but rub our eyes twice to make sure this is real. And trust us, this is real. Florida sure is one strange place. A sewer creature. This dude was filming and caught a freaky creature hiding in the shadows. It only showed itself when he stopped moving, and it had these creepy glowing eyes. But when he tried to get closer, the thing bolted back into the dark. Now we're left with more questions than answers, wondering what the heck that thing even was. Strange little beings. Now these little beings were found by a woman on her kitchen floor. And if you're thinking these are little mice, no, they are not. According to the experts, the legs of the creatures resembled moths, and there's a chance that the upper body might have been eaten by a cat, but the experts weren't so sure either. So we don't know what these tiny little beings were. Buck in a wig. Have you ever come across the buck who's the handsomest of all? The bad boy grazing the grass and winning all the ladies with his wig on? Well, now you have. This buck was recorded in 2013 and caught the attention of everyone with his stylish wig. It was at first part of his antlers, but then slowly moved on top of his head, making him the most stunning buck ever. A creepy deer. Did you check out that weird video of a goat standing still and staring straight ahead? It's been all over the web and everyone's losing it. Some peeps reckon it might be the mythical skinwalker, while others are calling BS. We ain't got a clue who shot it, so it's all up to our own imaginations.
Hello.
She wants to come in.
Damn, one thing's for certain. It's super creepy.
A lion and a dog. A heartwarming video clip went viral a few years back, showing a lion and a dog sharing a tender moment between two very different species of the animal world. The lion approaches the dog, gently kissing its paw, which the dog accepts happily. A few seconds later, the lion tries to kiss the dog's paw again, but this time the dog pulls it away, leading to playful interactions between the two animals. The clip captures the unexpected and adorable interaction between these two species and has been widely loved by viewers on the internet. A snail drinking water. This amazing clip provides us with a rare glimpse into the miniature world around us, showcasing a snail drinking from a single water droplet. The video offers a fascinating look into the beauty and wonder of the tiny creatures and the world they inhabit, giving us a new perspective on the world around us. A walking octopus. This clip shows an octopus not swimming like its usual self, or hiding like it had mastered the art. This one is different, as it is captured walking on the land. Or will he even call this walking? Well, whatever this octopus is doing, it's pretty creepy. I'm glad they live underwater, or I won't be able to handle this every other day. What do you guys think? A brave turtle. The video shows a lion and a lioness drinking from a water source, probably a river or a pond. As they drink, a little turtle approaches them, seemingly trying to chase them away from the water. In its attempt to shoo the big creatures away from his pond, the turtle even gets so close to the lion's mouth, maybe trying to bite its tongue. The lion gets a little offended, I guess, but there's not much it can do with the turtle, as this thing is neither a threat nor a prey. So the lion doesn't even know what to do with this annoying little thing. After many attempts, the turtle eventually succeeds in stopping the lion from drinking water from his home.
A terrifying encounter. When one cougar minded its own business, the other one was in a mood of letting the man know how dangerous he can be. So he ran as fast as he could towards the man and stopped just a few inches away. And he did it for 6 minutes straight. Might be the longest 6 minutes of that man's life. And about the man, I would say he did a great job at staying calm and not taking off running as most people would have done, and he never turned away from the cougar. And that's what saved his life. A bear fight. Recently, a trail camera recorded an intense brawl between two male bears. It all started when one of the bears let out a bone-chilling snarl, warning the other bear to back off. Things quickly escalated from there, with the bears wrestling and biting each other in a wild frenzy. The fight lasted for a few minutes before they eventually went their separate ways. It was a crazy scene that happened deep in the heart of the woods. A little girl. A creepy trail cam pic caused a stir online because a little girl was seen in the middle of nowhere with no humans around. People wondered how she got there or if she was a ghost, but it turns out she was just with her grandpa and the pic was taken in the woods. No need to be scared, she's a real human. The rake. This picture was captured by a trail camera in the dead of night. We haven't been able to investigate it further, but it appears to be a rake lurking in the darkness of the woods. We're keeping our eyes peeled for any updates, but for now, all we have is this eerie image, and people are saying it's real. A humpback whale. It isn't always the animals or the mysterious beings that lurk in the woods. Sometimes it's humpback whales also, found laying all deep in the woods. And how exactly the whale ended up there, so far away from the ocean? Well, that's been a mystery ever since. UFO. When a man went out to check his trail cam and what it captured this time, he was stunned to see the picture the camera had taken. To some, it appeared like two glowing eyes, and to others, it was a UFO. Since it was just a picture, we can't say if it was fake or just something which looks eerie. A trail cam attack. Crocodiles are super deadly creatures. They don't care about anyone or anything, not even if you're just trying to record them with a camera. They can sneak up on you real slow, and before you know it, you're stuck in their powerful jaws with no escape. Bobcat versus rattlesnake. These fierce felines hunt and chow down on all sorts of critters, but one time one of them got snapped by a camera while running into a rattlesnake on its way somewhere. It made sure to take out the snake before resuming its original plans. But man, it really had to work hard to take down that snake. It used its sharp claws and teeth to crush and bite the snake's head in an epic battle.
Chilling cry for help. In the video, we witness a spine-tingling moment that no one wishes ever to encounter. We see a woman holding a laundry basket outside her house, about to enter a room. As she approaches the door, she freezes upon hearing a strained voice pleading for help. Followed by eerie moaning. Perplexed, she looks around but finds nothing unusual and eventually enters the room. The video then jumps to a later time after she called the police, who also hear the distressing sound. Despite the thorough investigation, they find no trace of the source. Speculations abound from hackers to pranks, even neighbors, but the truth remains elusive. The haunting cries for help in the video continue to baffle viewers. Mysterious home security sighting. In February of 2021, TikTok user Alyssa Nash 1 shared some spine-chilling home security footage that left viewers puzzled and intrigued. The video features a strange, shadowy figure moving up the stairs past one of the residents. Transparent and amorphous, the entity appears vaguely human in shape before floating out of view. As the video circulated on social media, it caused quite a stir, with many labeling it as a genuine paranormal sighting. Some viewers believed it to be a shadowy figure or even a demon, while others remained curious about the inexplicable apparition. Whether it's a trick of light or something more otherworldly, this dreadful encounter reminds us that the unknown still surrounds us. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Mysterious shadowy figure. In this security footage taken in a back alley, we witness some kids taking bikes. But something truly strange happens in the background. A pair of shadowy legs walk by, returning and seemingly reaching out to one of the boys, who turns around in surprise. The figure appears again before the clip ends, leaving viewers intrigued. Paranormal investigators believe these entities may be spiritual beings or lost souls, while others guess they could be interdimensional beings or even aliens. Reports of shadowy people from around the world share remarkable similarities, with some experiencing their presence during sleep paralysis. Though it's fascinating to consider these possibilities, we can always seek comfort under a blankie when spooked, knowing that these shadows can't get us there.
Amazonian dog. Now, the Amazon forest is like a home to all weirdest and strangest things and animals. And this is why people love putting their trail cams there. This time, they got footage of a rare Amazonian short-eared dog. It was thought to be a near-extinct species for quite some time, and the researchers were losing hope of finding any, and that is when they got their hands on this clip, in which this dog was seen sniffing around the forest like usual. Teams have been sent to find it so they can keep it in the preservatory and make sure it lives longer. A scary encounter. A man was out for a walk in the woods and was probably enjoying himself till he saw what no one was supposed to see. As he moved forward and came to the bridge, he saw a creepy clown trying to cross it. The clown was going to the other side, but as the man reacted to him by freaking out, he turned back and started moving towards him, which resulted in, of course, the man being freaked out more than before and running away. What are you guys doing if you end up in such a situation? Possum body slam skunk. Check out this hilarious video captured by a trail cam. It shows an epic fight between two of the tiniest creatures in the wild, a possum and a skunk. At first, they were a little far from each other, but as the fight got more intense, they started to come nearer and nearer. Finally, the possum decided to end it once and for all by body slamming the skunk. It's definitely one of those moments that you don't want to miss in the history of wildlife. Albino deer. A hunter in Tennessee was lucky enough to come across an unprecedented sight, an albino deer. Albino animals are quite rare in nature, and it's illegal to hunt or kill them. Thankfully, the hunter decided to only shoot the deer with his camera and share the remarkable footage online. The unique and natural white coat of the deer caught the attention of not only his fellow hunters, but also the locals, sparking curiosity and wonder. It's not every day that you get to witness such a beautiful and rare sight in the wild.
Bizarre wall entity. Surely such an insane person would lock themselves up, which proves that this could be an interdimensional being. A Reddit user, Omolro, uploaded this footage where two men who were exploring a cave system hidden underneath the trees in Jordan's Dibine Forest Reserve when they heard the presence of something behind the rock. To investigate, they moved a few of the rocks by the entrance and discovered a walled entity on the other side, having its face covered in brown. The two men immediately began religious incantations for spiritual protection against this possible supernatural entity. Many locals believe that this could be either a ghost or a jinn. Stalking skeleton. Judging by the body language of this skeleton, someone definitely put it up to this. A man was riding out on his horse by the trail road in the countryside of Montana when he noticed a moving skeleton that was hiding behind a tree while keeping a close eye on him, as if it were stalking him. It would look at the recorder and then quickly hide, revealing it to be a case of a possessed skeleton. As the video found its way to the internet, several speculations started, from it being a scared alien to a demonic creature that was up to something sinister. Creature hanging downward. Although this may look like a carcass of a bat, if not a sloth, the author of the video said otherwise. A couple who happened to be strolling in a park in New York City noticed the body of an unfamiliar-looking animal that was hanging downward from a branch over 12 meters from the ground. Initially, it was believed to be a sloth or a bat, until park officials reported it to not be the case. Before the carcass could be removed, multiple waves of crows and other scavengers feasted upon it until the remains disappeared. Unusually tall monkey. At first, this may seem like your average type of monkey until you see it in person. Eyewitnesses reported seeing a monkey as tall as 12 feet to be strolling past the trees in Michigan's Green area. Apart from it having such a height, this chimpanzee moves using only 2 of its hind legs, just as if it were human. Although it is known to remain solo and has never shown any aggressive or predatory behavior before, authorities have advised residents and curious visitors to avoid visiting any of its pathways. After all, no one would certainly want to see what it's like being pissed. Twisted walking creature. Would you approach a creature with a twisted body such as this in the dark? A paranormal investigator, after having entered a haunted cabin in the nearby woods, reported being followed by a terrifying creature. It looked as if it were a person standing with 2 of its arms supporting the upper back, but in a way that it was twisted. Due to the pitch darkness of the night, the investigator couldn't get a proper look at it while maintaining distance due to safety concerns. After all, if something this haunting is following you, you'd probably not want to be anywhere close to it. Horrid creature. Never failing to terrorize people, hiking or even a visit to the dense woods always brings the creepy creature living inside it. And this time, not the Bigfoot, but the man who decided to chase the mythical beast along the forest. Breathing heavily out of fear and tiredness of the long walk, he still does not stop and continues his journey to learn more about it. But never ready to reveal himself, the Sasquatch could be seen running along the trail, and sometimes even hiding behind the trees to somehow escape the man. But why? Why is the beast so afraid of that man? Is it really as scary as we assume? Or could it be the other way around? Mountain Sasquatch. Backpacking in the Marble Mountains of California, this family was left stunned when they came across the weirdly snapped trees. Observing them a little closely, these people were left surprised as there were no signs of axes cutting them down. Then, who did it? While they were on this subject, one of the guys spotted the giant walking down from a cliff. Though the video is a little blurry, the height and massive size of the Bigfoot can be seen clearly. as it was probably no less than 4 meters tall. Look at the trees looking so tiny in front of that eerie being. Biped goat. Though not of a trail cam capture, this is a video worth watching. A resident of China's small town was shocked when he observed his goat behaving mysteriously. At first, walking like a usual one, the goat suddenly stood on its hind legs and started walking. And seeing the footage, it does not look like the goat is doing it for the first time, as she's quite a pro in this. But why is she walking this way? Is something seriously wrong with the goat? Or perhaps is this a random prank she's playing on us? Let me know what you think of this eerie goat. Deer with an arrow. A lone buck in the wild is never out of misery. Caught twice in the Monrovian woods but never captured by rescue workers, this deer is famous because of its incredible survival story, as it's living with an arrow lodged in its neck. After many failed attempts of the rescue workers to pull the arrow out, the buck kept jumping fences and running away from them. They were finally able to tranquilize the animal and pull the arrow out of his neck after days of struggle. Here, another buck was caught with its antlers stuck with a basketball inside them, which too was rescued by the workers. Old Ellie. Don't blame your fate if you're not born as a celebrity. What if you were born with a major disability, just like this elephant? Slanted eyes hidden beneath the folded skin, and a bizarre opening right in the front of its head, below which runs a long trunk with permanent stains of mucus. All these oddities belong to Ranzakeel, a female elephant that was spotted enjoying a normal life just like other animals in its herd. In fact, she was able to breathe through her massive hole. Zoologists believe that this kind of mutation mostly occurs during the fetal phase, as it didn't seem like a predatory attack. For some of you, it might be a unique animal, but honestly, for me, it was far beyond disturbing. Mouthless giraffe. If the above entry isn't enough to convince you to accept the way you are, then next on the list is pretty compelling. Although the opening of this clip is quite normal, as a giraffe could be seen drinking from the lake, the actual oddity began when the water, instead of quenching its thirst, started falling out of a strange hole in its cheeks. Probably, the hole was a result of some kind of predatory attack. It is also believed that the animal was born with this distressing condition, due to which it can never drink water properly. This unbelievable giraffe sighting was observed in the natural reserve of Greater Kruger and has got the sympathies of millions. Chupacabra attacks. Several dead animals in one night without a single clue left, except from the fact that they were all bitten from the neck, left the investigators shocked as they had never witnessed anything like this before. But what was it? A vampire? Or really something that we don't know of? To find answers, the investigators set up a trail cam, and there it was. Mysterious deer. Frightening the explorer with its peculiar features, that is a buck standing right in front of the trail camera, but with half its back opened from where the organs of the poor buck are quite visible. It was no less than a strange sight for them. Just look how the shoulder is sneaking from the skin when it takes a step further. But what could be the reason behind this horrid appearance? A recent encounter with a wild animal? And even if that's the case, how could the animal still be walking after losing so much blood? Let me know your views. Flying girl. In the middle of the Russian forest, there was something creepy going on. Playing with his dog, this guy went after the dog who ran in another direction. That's where he recorded something extremely bizarre and inhumane. Because see how the girl is levitating in the air with her mother watching along. With no support, no strings attached to her, the girl hovered in the air for some time. And seeing that they were caught, they disappeared into the trees, leaving the people baffled by their weird stunt. Because how could someone do this?
An alien hitchhiker. While going about his usual routine, this truck driver caught something super creepy on his dash cam. And if you watch the video at regular speed, you might miss it. But if you slow it down a bit, you'll spot a strange figure standing by the roadside. What the heck was that thing? Some folks are saying it's an extraterrestrial, but others are calling it a hoax. But even if it was staged, it's still enough to give you the heebie-jeebies. Don't you agree? A masked being. So there was this guy living in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of trees behind his house. Every day he kept hearing these freaky noises that he just couldn't explain. So he came up with a plan to get to the bottom of it. He set up a camera in his backyard and another one in the woods. And let me tell you, the footage he got was seriously spooky.
What is that?
My bad, man.
He caught this bizarre creature in his backyard that looked like it was wearing some kind of freaky mask. And in the woods, he caught another creature that was glowing like crazy. It was totally nuts. But even after all that, nobody knows what the heck those things actually were. A Yeti. A strange video filmed on a Canadian mountain has left people scratching their heads. The footage shows a massive creature that left the videographer stunned. The next day, when he returned to film again, the creature was nowhere to be seen. After posting the video, many people had different ideas about what the creature could be, ranging from a Nephilim or Yeti to a secret military experiment. Let us know what you guys think. A monster in the dark. Now, you might find this one a little blurry, but that does not make the creature this man happened to capture any less terrifying. At first, he thought it was a very large buck or something, but things got creepy when it started moving and coming closer. It looked more like a human, but a huge one. A huge black cat. In this video, which went viral, a Mississippi man named David Sluter captured footage of what appeared to be a massive black cat walking through a field. After initially thinking it was a deer or coyote, he realized it was some type of cat and started filming. David was over 100 yards away, but from the cat's tail, he could tell it was massive. Some experts have dismissed the cat as an overgrown house cat, while others believe it's a more dangerous mountain lion. Regardless, everyone is currently on the lookout for the mysterious feline. Weird creature. In January 2013, a man reviewing footage from a trail camera left in the woods for several days made a disturbing discovery. He described the figure captured in the footage as an alien, although others speculate it may be a ghost or an unidentified creature. Initially, the figure appeared to be a distorted bush or an animal, but upon closer inspection, its unnaturally smooth movements and direct stare at the camera indicated that it was something abnormal. The figure resembled a woman, but with disproportionately large, flashing eyes and flowing hair. What do you guys think it was? A vampire deer. This trail cam footage shows a deer peacefully grazing on the ground. But if you think this is just a normal deer and nothing special, then let us tell you that it's no ordinary deer. This is a vampire deer, which are usually found in China and Korea. What's really interesting about them is their teeth, which are huge and tusk-like. They're pretty small, usually weighing between 33 and 65 pounds and standing only 2 to 3 feet tall. They like to hang out near water sources and wetlands and grasslands and are most active during the early morning and late afternoon.
Piebald deers. The white-tailed deer is without a doubt an animal that has been recorded on trail cameras the most. Everyone is familiar with them because they are the standard brown deer with a white tail. So it's fortunate that we occasionally get a glimpse of piebald deer. They are not a distinct species or subspecies of deer, but rather a genetic variation that can appear in several different deer species, including white-tailed deer, mule deer, and elk. Piebald deer are thought to be relatively uncommon, with estimates indicating that only 1% of deer population exhibits them. Those who see it frequently inquire about hunting. Like other deer with typical coloring, piebald deer can be legally hunted in many regions where hunting is allowed. However, because piebald deer are seen to be an uncommon and distinctive variant of the species, some hunters may decide not to hunt them. Some regions may have laws or hunting restrictions protecting piebald deer. Anyhow, it's a fantastic camera catch, and it's incredible how occasionally their eyes can be completely dark. Well, we'll be putting an end to this exciting journey for now, but don't worry, we'll be back with some more fun content soon. Thank you for watching the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Drop your thoughts about this video in the comments section. Thanks for watching. The Screams. In Texas, a local named Dan Robb was recording the intense thunderstorm that was raging outside his window. Suddenly, he heard a sound that chilled him to the bone.
There's a sound screaming. It's like a
series of blood-curdling screams that sounded like they were coming from the depths of hell itself. Dan was terrified. What on earth could be making those sounds? He posted the video to social media, hoping that someone would be able to help him identify the source of the screams. Many people were quick to offer their theories. Some thought it might be a wild animal like a mountain lion or a coyote, while others speculated that it might be something supernatural. In fact, the screaming sound Dan Robb recorded during the thunderstorm in Texas caused quite a stir among locals, with many speculating that it might be the legendary creature known as the Thunderbird. For those who aren't familiar, the Thunderbird is a mythical bird from Native American folklore. It is said to be a huge bird with a wingspan that can reach up to 20 feet or more. The bird is named after the thunder sound that is said to be produced by the flapping of its massive wings. According to legend, the Thunderbird is a powerful and majestic creature that has the ability to summon thunder and lightning with its wings. It is also believed to have healing powers and is revered as a spiritual symbol by many Native American tribes. But the truth turned out to be even stranger than anyone could have imagined. It was eventually revealed that the source of the screams was actually a valve being released at the Global Health Research Complex nearby. The sound was created when pressure was released from a cylinder, and the noise was amplified by the storm. Dan was relieved to finally have an explanation for the terrifying sounds he had heard. But the incident sparked a debate online about the mysterious and sometimes creepy noises that could be heard during thunderstorms. It just goes to show that even the most seemingly ordinary things can sometimes be more unsettling than we realize. A real goblin. The world of social media is full of surprises, and sometimes it can even offer us a glimpse of the most unexpected creatures. In October 2018, a user named Evil1030 shared a video on Instagram that had people talking about a supposed goblin caught on camera. The video was captured in the neighborhood of Pudong in Shanghai, China. The creature in the video appeared to be small, around the size of a child with a pointy head, pointy ears, and greenish-gray skin. It had a lanky body with bony limbs, and its movements were quick and jerky. The goblin-like figure scurried across a street and disappeared into the bushes, leaving the witnesses stunned and questioning what they had just seen. The video quickly went viral, with many people speculating about what the creature could be. Some believed it was a hoax, while others suggested that it could be a misidentified animal or a creature from Chinese folklore. Interestingly, the video was not the only one of its kind. It's worth noting that the idea of goblins has existed in human mythology for centuries. While there's no scientific evidence to support the existence of goblins, sightings like this one can certainly spark the imagination. Despite the widespread speculation, while it's possible that the video could be genuine, it's also possible that it could be a well-executed hoax or a case of misidentification. However, until more evidence is available, the truth behind this supposed goblin remains a mystery.
Slender Man. In a startling trail cam capture, a haunting figure sits amidst the forest, reigniting the debate about this once-thought fictional character's existence. The Slender Man, infamous for scaring children, may not be confined to the realm of imagination after all. Though no reports of child kidnapping surfaced in the vicinity, the photo poses an unsettling possibility. Are you ready to confront the mystifying Slender Man? Let us know which trail cam sighting scared you the most as we navigate through the blurred lines of reality and the eerie world of the unknown. A ghostly figure revealed. It is a haunting image that has sparked debates and intrigue. Zoom in and you'll spot a mysterious, colorless figure hiding behind a tree. The spectral appearance of a young girl. Some believe she met a tragic fate here, her spirit lingering in familiar surroundings. Interestingly, her apparition coincides with the time of Google's mapping expedition. Yet opinions diverge on this mysterious phenomenon. Some contend it's a true ghostly encounter, while skeptics propose digital manipulation via Photoshop. The question remains, is this an ordinary girl captured posthumously or an ethereal presence lingering beyond the living?
A levitating creature. Whether it was an extraterrestrial being or simply an optical illusion, this video is fascinating to watch. A large group of individuals gathered to witness this bizarre creature, which appeared to be levitating in midair while wearing wings on its arms and feet. Although it resembled a mermaid or an alien, it actually looked more like a boy. However, the reality behind the levitation was not as mysterious as it seemed. In fact, it was just a simple trick involving thin strings that helped the individual hover in the air. A UFO. A pilot was on his usual routine, flying a plane from one city to another. But what he did not know was that he was about to come across a sight he had ever imagined, a UFO. Now, for those of you thinking it was just a balloon, those don't fly forwards, they go upwards. And also, balloons do not have this kind of speed. So, nope, that wasn't a balloon. To me, it totally looks like a UFO. Bigfoot. In this video, Rick Dyer, a self-proclaimed Bigfoot tracker, claimed to have killed the elusive creature. The video shows a tense moment where the massive beast attacks the man holding the camera. Afterwards, Dyer provides a few pictures, claiming they're of the Bigfoot he killed. So do you think it was really a Bigfoot that he killed, or was he just lying straight away? A cheetah. This clip features an American tourist who got an unexpected guest on a safari in Tanzania. Well, Britton Hayes from Seattle got a special visitor in the form of a cheetah who jumped right into the back seat of his vehicle. And if that wasn't wild enough, another cheetah decided to join in on the fun. Poor Hayes was frozen with fear, praying he wouldn't become dinner for the big cats. Weird sea creatures. A few years ago, there was a video that became really popular online. It showed a strange sea creature that some people had caught and filmed. A lot of folks believe it's the real deal and pretty creepy too. The creature looks a bit like a sea hare, but with some serious sharp teeth inside its mouth. Honestly, I don't know what it was up to, but it definitely gave me the heebie-jeebies. An open grave. While paying a visit to his loved ones in the cemetery, a guy stumbled upon something peculiar. He noticed a grave that was partially open and seemed like it was being destroyed. As he went closer, he was taken aback to see the remains of a body buried there, including a tall skeleton that was around 1.8 meters tall. But that wasn't all. There were other skulls and bones inside the grave, which hinted at some sort of witchcraft. However, nothing was ever really explained or cleared up.
Dancing bear. The Wildlife Channel put cameras in the jungle to see the animals there. They were hoping to film them doing normal things, but what the cameras showed was surprising. The bears they caught on camera were dancing and moving their bodies like Shakira. It's pretty amazing that bears can dance like that, but did you know that bears also get itchy? And instead of scratching themselves with their paws like we do, they use trees. And look at them go. They're really enjoying themselves, aren't they? Lion intruders. When you go camping, unexpected guests might drop by, like mosquitoes and other bugs if you're lucky. But if you're not, like the guy in this video, a big male lion and two lionesses might pay you a visit. The man was sleeping soundly in his tent when all of a sudden this happened. Luckily, he stayed put and didn't try to run away. The lion seemed more curious than anything and didn't harm him. Despite the scare, the camper had an unforgettable night. Breathing earth. So there's this really weird thing that a camera caught in the forest. It looked like the earth was moving up and down, almost like it was taking a break from spinning and going around the sun. People call it the breathing earth because it's like the ground is breathing. This happens when the wind is strong and the ground is loose. It can be pretty scary if you don't know what's going on. You might think the earth is going to swallow you up. It's definitely one of the craziest things ever caught on trail camera. A massive spider. Someone caught a really creepy video and posted it online. It shows a creature that looks like a spider or maybe a crab, and it scared a lot of people. At first, I thought it was just a dog dressed up in a spider suit, but when I took a closer look, I realized it definitely wasn't a dog. The only dog in the video looked totally freaked out by the weird bent-legged things too. So we're all pretty confused about what it could be.
Prepare to be unnerved and chilled to your very core as we unveil spine-tingling scenes of unknown predators captured in the dark depths of pitch-black forests. These bone-chilling, enigmatic beasts lurk in the shadows and have left experts baffled and the bravest trembling. Join us as we will show you the most shocking and terrifying encounters ever caught on film. Sleeping Beast. This scruffy beast was first seen crouched over a rocky peak in Arizona, but later it was seen resting near the woods. With its hair-covered face and faceless body, the creature certainly looked terrible. The limbs, which were bent or even partially chopped, contributed to its horrifying features. However, even though the rescue personnel were contacted right away and the shaggy figure was brought into jail for additional testing, the authorities provided no details on its whereabouts. What then was it? And from whence did it originate? Tell me what you think. The slender figure. This dashcam captures a man sprinting across the road at an unearthly speed. I'm curious about its origins and aims because of its strange legs and humanoid shape. Is it an extraterrestrial being from space, or perhaps a fabled skinwalker on the hunt? The driver's inaction prompts doubts about the veracity of the footage, but the unpredictability of the enigmatic figure is really unsettling. The Yeti on the Hill. A group of tourists were shocked to see a huge, hairy person hiding in the thick forest among Nepal's snow-capped hills. The enormous stature and human-like stride remind people of the fabled Yeti. As the tourists considered their chances of coming across the unsettling creature, they felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. With each traveler telling their own version of the event, the meeting turned into an amazing experience. After going through something so strange, I would probably never venture into the woods again. Rock-throwing creature. Always intending to spook us, this time Bigfoot has devised yet another scheme, lurking behind a massive tree. The man who is visiting the woods is being watched by the cryptid. And then, as soon as the camera reaches those sneaking eyes, not ready to make an appearance, it hides behind the trees, but it returned once more. That too with a strike strategy this time. The Bigfoot realizes it's time to leave as he tosses a stone in the man's direction. The man quickly returns to his automobile.
Oh, that was a rock. Oh.
And now, the beast stands at a slight distance, without even trying to hide itself, and throws a stone directly into the cameraman's face. Although this video has drawn a lot of attention, analysts think there's a good probability it's not a human wearing a costume, because it would be difficult to make a throw while wearing a bulky outfit. Coyote howling. The image stands out as the most peculiar trail cam capture. Captured in Southern California, it depicts 3 coyotes howling simultaneously, howling and exuding the spookiest sensations while standing somewhat apart. The man considered it to be the scariest thing he had ever come across until he noticed an object in the shadows. 2 dazzling eyes stared directly at the coyotes as though they were about to attack. However, what was it? Some suggest that these eyes could belong to a lurking Sasquatch-like creature that was drawn to the growls as it feeds on the animal's blood, despite the fact that some thought it was another animal. However, please share your thoughts on the image with me. Rake sighting. Aiming at the unfortunate man adrift in the forest, creeping up a slender tree. That is one lean beast, all set to strike its next victim at any moment. This is the tale of an Alaskan man who went to Tongass National Park in 2018. He got lost among the tracks while camping there with his buddies. As the night deepens, he starts panicking, thinking he may not make it to his group. The man went crazy when he noticed something on the tree. The guy was startled as he turned his light back to the creep's body and saw the lean creature with an open mouth and the fabled blazing eyes after initially mistaking it for a wild animal. There was just one option: to run. So he did that exact thing. Crouching giant. Captured in the northeastern region of Arizona, the video shows a massive beast that can be seen slithering over a rock. The strange crawl is what makes this creature spooky. Although it resembled a gigantic black bear, no four-legged creature moves in this way. Thus, convinced that it was the supposed Bigfoot discovered in the Arizonian highlands, the man was taken aback when, in a matter of seconds, it transformed its body into a tiny canine-like creature. What then? A dog or a bipedal animal? He was confused when others suggested a different idea and dubbed it a skinwalker after the man published the video. It is said to transform and assume the forms of many different creatures. So, a skinwalker then? An enormous animal? Or a ruse? Tell me what you folks think it is. Monstrous wolf. In an attempt to photograph the newborn bear pups, a man placed his trail camera close to a black bear's lair. After spending the entire night there with his camera and coming back the following day, the man was taken aback to see what strange-looking monster the cubs had become. The strange appearance was further enhanced by the demonic features, alien-like ears, and frighteningly bright eyes that exude a spooky aura. The wolf-like monster was peeking out from the trees as if it was searching for something, most likely his next victim. However, because it was photographed in the dark and there were no other obvious evidence of the cryptid's presence along the trail, save the video that was taken, not much could be found out regarding its identity. Monkey Man crossing a river. The Bigfoot enthusiast had a rather different tale to tell. They genuinely think that the creature in the river is a Sasquatch, known as the monster of the Dewey Lake. This entity from folklore inhabits the southern part of Michigan and is said to possess a strong and hairy body. Despite having half of its body submerged in water, the creature appears towering due to its reddish-brown torso. And this is what sets off people's mental triggers. Is that a man wearing a monkey suit? Or is that the lake monster? The strange humanoid figure. Trail cameras are positioned to watch wildlife, but occasionally they record unusual scenes like a strange humanoid figure walking across a field. Its human-like characteristics and atypical limbs raise questions regarding the existence of unidentified species or cryptids. This mysterious, enigmatic figure pushes the boundaries of what we know about the natural world and invites us to investigate the realm of the unexplained. The discovery of the trail camera inspires awe and curiosity in us and compels us to learn more about the mysteries that are outside the realm of our normal understanding. Bigfoot family. You'll feel your spine tingle as you explore this trail camera owner's incredible encounter and its mysterious contents. And there it is, the vague outline of a big, hairy animal moving through the forest with a similar humanoid figure that might be its offspring. Two additional black figures that are hiding in the distance are what have everyone even more perplexed as the argument regarding Bigfoot's existence and nature rages again. Were there more of these creatures lurking in the shadows? The image's validity is still a mystery, but its mystery feeds into the never-ending debate about the legendary animals. The tentacles of the deep. A trail camera captured this breathtaking and terrifying scene during a strong storm. Enormous tentacles rising out of the ocean, reminiscent of the legendary Kraken. The enormous ocean depths conceal countless mysteries, and this vista of enormous marine life makes viewers think about nautical myths and stories. The existence of these enormous creatures calls into question accepted wisdom regarding our oceans. The few glances that cameras provide us with of these creatures provide us with more questions than answers on the wonders that lie under our waters. Bear's spooky heist. The following video shows a black bear skulking around a homeowner's property, examining its surroundings like a cunning would-be thief. He sets out on a daring quest to raid the chicken coop as soon as he thinks it's safe. He searches around for a way to unlock the wooden coop. He looks around for possible flaws while standing on his hind legs. When he's unable to open it calmly, the bear becomes desperate and uses force to rip and bite through the wood. But wait, there's more to see from the homeowner's trail camera. The homeowner is left in shock by the midnight marauder as the bear flees into the darkness after being startled by an alarm system. Ghost bird. Talk about an eerie surprise! Imagine mistaking a ghost bird for a harmless piece of wood. The great putu, a nocturnal bird renowned for its unsettling camouflaging abilities, is this grumpy-looking beast. These skeletal birds, found in Brazil and Mexico, give you the creeps. But fear not, they are largely benign and content to live in their forest habitat. So the next time you see a strange-looking bird, hold off on drawing assumptions. Perhaps it is merely a ghost bird keeping watch over its eerie realm. Abandoned car forest. Tucked down in the middle of a Belgian woodland is an auto cemetery that would make horror flicks blush. Can you imagine neon-colored flowers blooming from engines, or cars entwined with tree roots? You'll think that this post-apocalyptic scene is right out of a Hollywood production. But don't be alarmed. Nature is slowly reclaiming man-made objects, as evidenced by this unsettling spectacle. Some residents find the automobiles to be a lovely quirk, while others find the constant stream of inquisitive tourists unsettling. When you drive through Google Maps, you'll encounter something that'll make you doubt reality. Fearless forest thieves. These days, raccoons aren't limited to the grasslands and woods. They're now moving into cities. They are the best scavengers because of their skillful paws, which allow them to pick locks and unlock doors. Watch this trail camera video to see how raccoons find an abundance of food. A buck, though, wants in on the action as well. Soon, as more raccoons join the celebration, a vicious brawl breaks out. The deer is outnumbered, but its antlers are formidable tools. Nevertheless, the raccoons fulfill their namesake by darting off and coming back for more. Hiding predator. Taking a deer by surprise and choosing not to fight it? Is that a real predator hiding there in the shadows? When he set up his trail camera, this man had no idea it would record an unsuccessful ambush attempt. A deer initially materialized in front of the camera and settled in to unwind, slumbering there for a while. Right before it shifts and briefly disappears from the view of the camera, two bright eyes materialized behind him and began to go to the side. Even though he was asleep, he instantly got to his feet and startled the predator after realizing he had been watched. Deer approaches hunter. Now, either this buck must have witnessed something for which he was unprepared, or a large beast is approaching to attack him. This hunter was aiming for the wild deer in the Kruger National Park. However, it was taken aback by his peculiar behavior, because the deer charged at him as soon as he brought down the rifle. Standing next to him, the spooked-up deer didn't stop staring back at him even while the guy stroked it, as if someone was still at it. Even after the examiner saw the film, it became clear that the deer only act in this way when they are genuinely afraid or in need of some assistance. Face to face with chimps. This man, who generally shies away from people, was shocked to see the chimp seated next to him. He was terrified, but tried controlling himself. He's being incredibly patient. They gave off the creepiest vibes when they sniffed him and then pricked the terrified man with their sharp nails. Even more, one of them scaled the tree to presumably perch on the adventurer's back. And just when it seemed like the adventurer would always be under attack by the chimps, they started to leave. They all departed one by one, as though something had compelled them to. Thankful but perplexed, as quickly as they could, the explorers also left that place. Ghostly spirits. Strolling through Stansted Forest and past a little UK town, this man managed to snap an eerie scene. There were other ghostly spirits floating in the air along with the fog. A few had the appearance of an elderly woman, while others resembled children, and the rest were distorted as nothing could be made out of them. The people who live close to the woodland claim that these are the ghosts of an elderly couple who tragically died when they crossed the nearby railroad tracks, and they have been tormenting those who visit that woodland ever since. Bear attacks wild piglet. The Teon Ranch Conservancy is the scene of a ferocious hunt captured on camera. As a wild piglet is being chased by a grizzly, the bear made a leap. That is, a leap towards success. Just as he was about to lose his catch and managed to get the piglet this time, with his enormous jaws clamped shut, the bear disappears from view. But aren't we all aware of what transpired with the unfortunate piglet? It's obvious that this bear dislikes being in the spotlight. Observe his ferocious charge towards the camera. He returns to the wild, sad that nothing more could be done. Peeking alien. You won't be able to organize a late-night camping trip after watching this video, especially not in the middle of a creepy forest. Friends were building a fire to keep scavenging animals away from their tents when they heard an unexplained disturbance in the darkness. When one of the guys threw the fire in front of the tree, he wasn't expecting to find this. A little gray cryptid with pointed fingers was hiding behind the tree, attempting to stay warm. As the man filming it tried to get a better look, the creature hurriedly scurried away. Unfortunately, details regarding the figure were unavailable, but it appeared to me to be an extraterrestrial. Humo crab. A group of friends were enjoying a bonfire in the middle of the dense woods when they decided to go for the girl who had disappeared so they could make a call.
Can't see it very... Yeah.
This decision gave them the worst shock of their lives. While looking for the girl, they were horrified to discover that she was lying lifeless in front of a tree.
Stop. Okay.
Suddenly, though, an unsettling thing leapt out from behind one of the bushes. The unknown entity appeared to be a human crab-like monster with several limbs connected to a human body. Even if there was no satisfying conclusion to this video, these horrifying minutes should be enough to make you reconsider your camping plans the next time you go out. Sasquatch spotted in Russia. These 16-second video clips feature some of the weirdest moments anyone has ever witnessed, captured in 2011 by an unidentified source in Russia. This video provides a closer look at the most talked about mythological beast. With its enormous hairy torso and extended arms, it resembled a true Sasquatch. There was nothing else to be said about the creature because the man filming it appeared to be afraid of it. However, the flawless humanoid gait suggested that the fabled Sasquatch was in the woods, since it was spotted hurrying through them after realizing it was being filmed. Hidden striker. Wild animals have long been drawn to trail cameras. This time, it was a covert attacker who targeted a trail camera that was placed somewhere in Japan. The unidentified creature was standing at the back, moving the camera left to right in an attempt to remove it from the tree. When attacking from behind failed, a wild boar that was hidden there surfaced and continued to attempt to take the enigmatic object from a tree. Scary gator. Here we have another swamp inhabitant filmed somewhere in southwest Florida. It was spotted creepily approaching the trail camera with glowing eyes and horrifying features, giving the impression that it would snap open its hideous fangs and shatter the camera in an instant. Fortunately, though, this menacing alligator ignored the trail camera and moved quickly through the wet marsh while towing its powerful armored tail. Woodpecker smashed trail cam. 2 years ago, a group of scientists were recording various wildlife species with a trail cam when they recorded an incredible moment. Unfortunately, an aggressive woodpecker was drawn to the scene who was definitely not pleased with this new addition to the trunk. It began pecking the camera while staring straight into the lens, and it kept doing so until the camera was totally damaged. Whatever the purpose, it could be pecking to dig a nest hole or simply spotting an insect to eat. I was genuinely curious about the strength of that pointed beak. Lion chewed GoPro. This time, an inquisitive big cat targeted a GoPro instead of a trail cam. The lioness chose to approach and opened her enormous mouth to seize the camera with her strong teeth after ambushing the camera positioned at the rear of a Jeep. Following a successful camera heist, the large feline swiftly fled and was observed sprinting. She stole the camera from her owner and chewed on it with her pointed, sharp teeth in the bushes far away. And all that was visible to us was a close-up of its mouth. But when the lioness realized there was no flesh on that thing, she left it there and moved on. Strange alien sticks. This time, a trail cam caught footage of something entirely unearthly. Not a dogman or a Bigfoot, but a strange white person with missing hands and incomplete facial characteristics that was seen on camera at an unidentified location. It accurately appeared to be walking on its long, odd legs. Then, from a distance, a second monster with the same features appeared and began moving in the same way. Both of the unidentifiable animals bounced past the camera, moving their defective bodies on the strangely elongated legs. Though not much is known about these unidentified walking objects, they reminded me of marching alien sticks that had risen out of nowhere and vanished into the woods. Dog chased a hairy beast. A man took his dog to the lush habitat of the wild with the intention of recording some moments with the wildlife. The camera was set on the collar of the dog, and it unintentionally photographed a giant biped that appeared from one side and went directly in front of the camera while it was wandering through the wooded route. Many people assumed the enormous monster, which was briefly seen, was a bear, although bears don't typically hide. They attack. Upon closer inspection, the black features of a bear also resemble the legendary Bigfoot. Thus, is the Bigfoot or any other hairy beast making its way through there? Guesses, anyone? Wolfman hybrid. Following on the list is some of the strangest footage, which displays a big, hairy creature with some odd traits. Multiple times, an animal head was captured on a bipedal humanoid body. After seeing this video on a trail camera, a group of hunters made the decision to go to the woods in hopes of finding further hints. However, before they could get to the precise spot, they saw another hairy beast tampering with the enormous excavator bucket. Since they were moving, only a brief video of the scene was captured. Despite their efforts to halt and pursue the creature, it swiftly disappeared back into the jungle. They have become sufficiently persuaded of the Wolfman's existence after gathering substantial proof of the enormous black beast. Predator's mouth. The hairy body, the eerie mouth, and the teeth in the shape of a cone. When a man in Pennsylvania placed his trail camera above a little locust tree, he was startled by the bizarre images it took. Despite not being an animal, the camera managed to catch the interior of its mouth. The man initially mistook it for anything else and believed he had caught an enigmatic monster attempting to attack the camera. After viewing the photos repeatedly, he eventually realized that it wasn't an unidentified animal, but rather a fisher, a weasel family member drawn to the camera by the clicking sound it makes when taking images. Resting brute. Here's the hairy beast relaxing in the scorching sun, and here it's meandering through the forest. Strange noises have been heard coming from the state park nearby. The residents decided to install a trail camera to find out who was creating the weird noises, even though they weren't initially aware of the source. They were let down when they saw nothing on the trail cameras. However, just when they had given up on ever apprehending the rowdy neighbor, a hairy ape-like creature was seen lying on the ground by one of the trail cameras. The enormous size of the beast, even in its state of repose, was enough to freeze the people to the bone. Here is the hairy brute resting under the blazing sun, and here it is strolling in the woods. Unknown animal. Well now, that's one spooky critter that was spotted wandering through the forest. The image was captured by a trail camera in the Mexican woods in 2019 and occasionally appears online. The image depicts a spooky creature that, despite his hyena-like features, is significantly different from one due to his hairless body. What then was it? The man made the solo decision to go into the woods in an attempt to get answers. After failing to locate one, it was when he was making his way back that he noticed odd sounds coming from the deep forest. However, ill prepared to face the terrifying creature, he made the decision to retreat. Lucky squirrel. More than an hour was spent stalking it and waiting for the right moment. Finally, the owl made the decision to go after the squirrel. However, the hungry owl's day was not lucky, since, as it pursued the squirrel through the forest, it was about to subdue it with its sharp claws, and then came the tree, and it struck the bark quite hard. Thus, the squirrel hid beneath the fallen leaves this time, taking advantage, rendering it uncatchable for the owl. Spooked deers. 3 deer running in the opposite way from each other. Many are trying to figure out what might have happened to frighten the deer after seeing this image captured by a trail camera. Although I believe I know the answer to these concerns, from the exact track, another camera caught a partially visible deer facing the opposite direction, because that's where the Bigfoot is, right behind the prickly bushes. It's also possible that the deer have seen the Bigfoot here as well, which would explain why they are so terrified. Christmas beast. When one family saw something in the woods on Christmas Eve, their day became a nightmare. The Bigfoot was just briefly captured on film when it emerged from the pitch-black jungle and glided around its edge. As a result, it was difficult to trust the video. The dog is seen sprinting in the same direction that the Bigfoot was strolling up to at this point. Fearful yet growling at the creature, the dog practically lost control. And honestly, the video seems pretty legit due to the dog's reaction. And even though this location is different, the camera captured a similar figure strolling along the icy sidewalk. Struck by owls. While exploring Arizona's deep forests, explorers have claimed to have seen a large number of dead birds. They were also able to determine the cause by installing their trail camera. These unfortunate eagles, resting on the tree, had no idea that a predator was waiting for them. When he was initially hidden in the dark woodland, the only way to identify the flying predator was with his bright eyes. Waiting for the right moment to strike, and then taking it, it materializes out of the shadows and accomplishes his intended task, striking the dozing eagle with his powerful claws. With his intensity, it appears nearly impossible for him to stop coming. Where, in their defense, the eagles have most likely forgotten to soar, they could see the squirrel taking care of it for them. He made a huge, seemingly airborne leap as soon as he realized he was going to be attacked. However, this is where the owl was seen abruptly appearing on the track and striking the rider in the face. Wood chase. The days of mountain lions avoiding human interaction are long gone, as they are now frequently spotted interacting with hunters, and yes, even pursuing hikers. Like this time, a hiker on the route came with an enraged cougar. Trying to get the cougar to go away, practically pleading with it, the man turned to go back, but was unable to turn around, because that hungry predator would have an open invitation to go after him.
I promise. I'm not going away.
Since it's already waiting for its chance to assault the man. The man did indicate his safe return when he published the video, despite the fact that it ended in the middle of the chase. And here it was, a bear that had been seen pursuing the rider into the woodland. The bear bolted toward the cyclist, appearing out of nowhere among the trees. Even though he was riding quickly, the man was startled by a falling tree. He immediately got to his feet and raced to the right side of the woods, where he was fortunately spared from the assault. Sasquatch hunting. Paul Freeman, who was always on the lookout for Bigfoot in the impenetrable forests, gained notoriety in the late 1990s for presenting the most reliable Bigfoot evidence. And it's one of those unquestionable catches here. Captured in 1994 in Oregon's Blue Mountains, while on a walk in the woods, Paul noticed movement behind one of the trees. He quickly opened his camera and saw the walking bipedal ape. Heart thumping, he continued filming the hirsute beast, terrified by his discoveries. The hairy cryptid was big enough to be seen, even if it was moving slowly. Following analysis, he went on to say that it was a massive beast that stood at least 2 meters tall. Gazelle ditches lion. When it comes to the lion versus any other wild animal, I believe that we are all a little biased toward the king of the jungle. However, this video will totally shift your point of view. A group of explorers was filming a gazelle drinking water in the Serengeti National Park when they noticed a lion coming stealthily in. They also predicted the outcome. Just as the lion was about to seize the gazelle, it surprised it with its incredible speed and leapt over it, heading in a different direction, surprising both the onlookers and the lion. As the gazelle managed to preserve itself, it was undoubtedly a memorable defeat, and the lion was unable to turn around due to his rapid speed. Well, if it was a stall, I must say, gazelles are quite good at it. Cougar defense. Video footage of a mother cougar and her cub, taken in the Mendocino National Forest, opens with them cuddling. However, you are unaware that a grizzly bear is about to spoil this amazing occasion. I must admit, though, that the bear is likewise unaware of the mommy's fighting skills. The mother cougar swiftly covered her kids and moved toward the approaching bear, while keeping an eye on it. The bear struggled fiercely, but was eventually bitten severely on one of its ears, which ultimately turned out to be a cue for the bear to retreat. The grizzly outruns the cougar and retreats back into the jungle, even though it was being followed. Bear chasing bald eagle. This merely serves as evidence of how far a bear will go to obtain its meal. A family was fishing in northern Saskatchewan when they noticed an eagle's nest perched atop a towering tree. The scene was captured in a Canadian forest. However, a bear charged the tree and began attempting to scale it shortly after a few minutes had passed. The bear was carrying a big load and was having trouble climbing the tree, but the family said that despite falling multiple times, he never gave up. And at last, reaching up there, it is seen fighting and outlasting the parents, even at such a height, and coming back down, holding the eaglet in its teeth. Kansas skunk ape. Numerous tales of the Kansas City skunk ape that was frequently discovered in the woods are making the rounds on social media, but this one was above them all. While strolling her dog through the jungle, a woman noticed a massive, hairy creature ambling through the trees. The beast was likely 6 feet tall, with dense hair covering its face, making it nearly impossible to see. What do you guys think this anonymous being was? Despite the fact that many think it's a Sasquatch that was photographed, some people are skeptical about it, and viewers find it difficult to accept that the creature in the film is genuinely a Bigfoot, rather than a costumed human, because it's a little grainy. Grizzly bear attack caribou. This time, it's a caribou. Grizzlies are no doubt the most determined animals when it comes to feeding their empty gizzards. And coming up with different strategies, they really don't give their opponents a chance to strike back. Drinking water from the stream, the caribou found itself standing in the face of death as a bear was aiming at it, striking with its massive antlers and running off to the other side. Just when the caribou thought it had outrun the bear, there it was again, standing behind the poor animal. And this time, when the caribou tried to scare the bear off with its antlers, it grabbed it from there, and, well, don't we all know what happened next? Climbing coyote. One thing is certain. If it results in the wild creatures stuffing their stomachs, they won't think twice about doing anything. Because, well, how often do you see a coyote up a tree? Alka, a Pine Lake resident, took a picture of the coyote eating berries while perched on a tree branch. After initially consuming them from the ground, when it was unable to reach the delicious berries, it made the decision to ascend. Coyotes are thought to be able to climb up to 18 meters. Thus, even if it appears common, they are rarely spotted doing so. Bear and hunters. Perched on a hunting stand, the hunter believed he was hidden from the wild creatures. However, he was proved wrong as a bear approached to say hello. After spotting it perched atop, it swiftly scales the tree and confronts the hunter. The bear investigated the tree, and the man also dropped to the ground. Remarkably composed, the hunter captured the entire event on camera. When these two charged on the top of the tree, those hunters were shivering, even if the preceding one had been a little calmer. Fortunately, they returned after sniffing one of them and losing interest immediately. Buck attacks trail cam. They look like they're ready for a battle when they appear on camera. The deer bolted toward the camera after buckling up and standing in front of it. When you hit it a bit lightly at first, it returns quite fiercely this time and then comes back. The deer genuinely glared at the camera, not only missing this time. It then attempts to destroy it while working on its backup plan. After a package of destruction, the bear returned to the jungle. The owner of the camera was taken aback by its peculiar behavior, which had no apparent explanation. Croc hunts wild boar. A visual representation that conveys the feeling of being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Standing in the water because of the wild dogs waiting for it in the dry land. This wild boar has no idea that it has unintentionally invited another dangerous predator. A crocodile hiding in the water stalked the boar while it considered how to get rid of the hounds. It then leaped at the boar, clutched it, and threw it back into the water as soon as it noticed the approaching predator. Their expressions show that, despite their grief at losing their capture, the dogs are also grateful that it was not one of them. Werewolf encounter. The widespread belief is that werewolves typically surfaced at a full moon. Although, however, a man claimed to have had a near brush with a werewolf on a pitch-black night 3 years prior in Brazil. When the horrifying beast came out of the shadowy jungle, it was observed cowering behind a wooden structure. But as soon as it realized it was being observed, it leapt out and tried to harm the man who was filming it. Fortunately, though, the man was able to flee, and all he saw was a glimpse of the werewolf attempting to intrude into his one and only backyard. Bear inspecting trail cam. Are you still under the impression that the only creatures that venture outside at night to investigate are the mythical ones? We have a really weird video that shows a creature with thick, hairy limbs attempting to seize control of a trail camera. The enormous, inquisitive bear attempted to take hold of the camera with its teeth after utilizing its enormous hands to take it out. A bear's powerful teeth can typically completely destroy a camera. However, when this footage abruptly stops, what could have happened to the camera is unknown to me. Can someone further enlighten me? The Catalonian Fallen Angel. Have you ever seen something so eerie and bony that it made you reconsider going out at night? Meet the terrifying cryptid known as the Catalonian Fallen Angel, which was seen on camera in Spain. We're not sure if it's a real demon or simply a crazy person. That glaring eye and the lightning-fast movement, though, would make anyone want to flee for the hills. Some people even assert that it has wings remaining on its back. Whether or not this is a fallen angel, it's truly an unsettling creature. Clever monkeys. This trail camera footage shows a group of inquisitive monkeys. They approach the camera and look at it curiously at the start of the film, demonstrating their curiosity. A courageous monkey even ventures closer to examine the enigmatic contraption in further detail. But what at first glance appeared to be a harmless curiosity quickly takes an unexpected turn. The monkeys eventually show their real colors after engaging in some lighthearted conversation. They had been plotting to take the camera all along. It's clear that these primates are up to no good as soon as the camera moves. Their cleverness and resourcefulness are astounding us with their naughty conduct, demonstrating once more the wonders and secrets of the natural world. Mysterious encounter down under. 3 friends can be seen jokingly posing for a picture at 4:38 in this North Australian video, completely oblivious to the strange event taking place behind them. Rather than taking a picture, the camera bearer captures a remarkable moment in time. Something that defies description appears behind them and makes them feel extremely afraid. Slowing down the video allows us to get a better look at this mysterious creature, which has an odd mix of human and canine features. Its elongated limbs are humanoid in appearance, although they are strangely thin. The creature, clad in blackness, moves on all fours, displaying an unsettling agility. This incredible experience serves as a reminder of the mysteries that lie beyond our knowledge, even though its true identity is yet unknown. Mysterious highway encounter. Picture yourself driving down a busy highway, going about your business, when you see something strange happen. A driver is left completely perplexed when they see an unexpected scene on their camera. A van comes up from the other side as they round a bend. Observe carefully as a man appears out of nowhere on the road, appearing to be falling. There's no chance of his falling out of the car because the doors never open. Rumors are rife. Did he really have remarkable powers, or did a gateway arise and send him along the road? We're left wondering about the unexplainable since we don't know the man's identity or the whole tale. Mysterious glitch in reality. In this strange video that went viral on social media, a man is shown naively going down a set of stairs without any idea what terrifying things are going to happen to him. Something very unsettling occurs when he goes onto the pavement. Out of nowhere, he trips over a woman's lifeless body that's lying on the ground. Twice the video is replayed, once in slow motion and again featuring a close-up of the enigmatic, unmoving figure. Such unexplainable occurrences are frequently referred to as a glitch in the matrix, where reality appears to briefly distort beyond comprehension. Viewers are perplexed by the woman's abrupt entrance and uncannily lifeless state. So what are your thoughts? After seeing the film, share your comments with us about this enigmatic and bewildering mystery. A figure in the wilderness. Imagine watching your trail cam footage and coming across this strange sight. Likely, you would consider one of 2 options. Initially, there was a scarecrow that had unexplainably fallen from its pole, possibly to go see the magician. Alternatively, you could have a sense of being lost in a forested rendition of Elm Street. A human-looking figure with an odd helmet rushing across the woods makes no sense at all. It's enough to send shivers down anyone's spine and leave you wondering what in the world or beyond it, you just saw. At times, the natural world can genuinely astonish us with mysterious and unsettling experiences, leaving us with more questions than answers. Cryptid in woods. This man is unaware that a scary beast is about to destroy his plans to explore the woods early in the morning. After setting up camp in the forest and choosing to go around the trails, the man noticed an odd cryptid behind one of the trees in the footage he was filming. He was heard inquiring if that was a cow approaching, possibly perceiving it was a wild animal. However, the odd-looking, whitish thing approached the man before he could identify it, leaving him with nearly little time to rescue himself. However, the man scrambled to get away from the menacing stalker. And furthermore, since the video finishes abruptly, it is unclear what happened next. Stalking a Bigfoot. This time, a man rather than the Bigfoot made the decision to follow it. As he entered the woodland in the snow, the man was certain he would find what he was looking for. Not so simple, however, after spending several hours strolling through the woods. The man saw this thing. The hirsute person, either unaware of him or choosing to ignore him, was observed strolling around, unfazed by the man. This time, he grabbed the beast from a slightly closer perspective, since he was not content with the distance he had previously used. Just take a look at the Sasquatch's lofty height and bushy torso. The analysts saw that the beast was at least 1.7 meters tall, and could have easily finished the victim if he had wanted to after reviewing the footage. But luckily, it did not. Sasquatch on stroll. The man was hiking through the Maine woods in the morning, not realizing he had a buddy with him, creating a video blog and discussing the trails in the deep woods and the wildlife that may be found there. Just before the guy moved his camera, the supposed Sasquatch was seen standing motionless next to a large tree, presumably hiding from the man or pursuing him. Throughout the entire time the camera was focused on it, that Yeti remained still. However, the man only got a glimpse of the terrifying figure, since he failed to recognize it immediately. Snowy Bigfoot. A group of adventurers saw this strange bipedal creature strolling down the mountain as they were standing in the middle of nowhere. Its enormous torso was completely covered in dense black hair. Examiners found that it would be impossible for a human to walk on the snow slope without any obvious assistance, despite some witnesses claiming it was just another hiker on the mountain. The people were astounded that it traveled such a great distance in a short period of time, especially considering how difficult it is for an individual to walk at such a high speed in the snow at the moment the camera captured the wide panorama. Horned animal. The creature was discovered in Colombia by a farmer who was searching the area for bees after it had crept out of a spiky bush. The animal's unusual appearance was enhanced by its two horns over its head and its black color. It was sitting beneath a power pole and was staring straight at the cameraman, giving off the impression that it would attack at any second. However, the man was so afraid of the unsettling cryptid that he dared not approach it. After a few minutes outside, that horned beast vanished behind some bushes and was never seen again. Unicorn elk. This unicorn is not exactly like others, but it gained notoriety due to a deformity in the antler directly above the nose. Thus, it became the elk family's unicorn. Taken in Tampico, a tiny town close to Illinois, this deer had an unusual appearance when it first appeared on the trail camera. While other onlookers thought it was an alien species because it was so unusual, researchers explained that, despite being unusual, this phenomenon is caused by a genetic mutation, or occasionally an injury sustained during the antler growth process. Witch in dark. A farmer installed a trail camera to record what happens there after midnight after hearing odd noises for a few evenings in a row. At first, nothing was captured, but when the man had started giving up hope, an unsettling figure started to appear from the screen. The monster had luminous eyes and an alien-like visage, giving it the appearance of a witch. The people were in disbelief since they had never seen a creature like this before because they could not see the remainder of the body in the dark forest. What was it then? An extraterrestrial? A sorceress? Tell me what you guys think, please. Road crossing Yeti. Driving down a road encircled by a dark forest, a man was forced to apply the brakes quickly. How come? Well, the answer is that strange thing that's sitting in the middle of the road. Upon catching sight of it from a distance, the man initially believed it to be a man in need of assistance. However, he stopped his car there, and as he was ready to get out, the cryptid began to crawl away from the road and into the bushes. The crawler's eerie characteristics are enough to frighten anyone, even if they are a little fuzzy. And since it was posted in 2021, the authorities have not disclosed anything regarding its genuine identity. What then was it? Tell me what you think. Skinwalker. This pale creature, who appeared to be elderly, was observed strolling around Kentucky in 2022. Inspiring paranormal buffs, this video went viral right away. The video's unsettling atmosphere is enhanced by the alien-looking humanoid monster that is seen strolling down an abandoned street. It also appears to be a little slumped over. The creature appears to be lurking from somewhere and has a faceless body. Is it a ghost captured on camera, or might it really be an alien hiding from humans? While many people accept the visuals that have been supplied, some people reject the hypothesis and contest the veracity of the film, arguing that it might actually be a human being walking strangely. So, whose side are you on? Let me know. Lion attack. Wild creatures are one thing that people are always afraid to come across when they venture into the woods. Nobody can ensure a safe return if that wild animal turns out to be a lion. When these guys were heading inside their tents for the night, one such incident occurred. When two unexpected guests showed up in front of their tents, they began attacking anything that stood in their way. The lions appeared to be searching inside for prey, mostly out of curiosity and rage. One of them, the reportedly more hungry lion, noticed the man hiding in the tent and began tearing it apart with its powerful claws. Lingering for a while, unsure if he would catch his intended victim, finally the lions both depart, but with a scary memory for those campers to always remember. Ancient creature. In 2018, a strange-looking creature was discovered in a tiny Russian village. The farmer was walking home from a busy day when he noticed this freaky head emerging from the ground. He was captured on camera in a cornfield. He discovered the entire thing after going a little further, and it was much stranger than before. It resembled an undiscovered prehistoric species that had been discovered buried, thanks to its strange eyes and even stranger torso. And despite the fact that the scientists examined it right away, nothing has come to light. This gave it an even more ominous appearance. Rake caught in dark. The man who lived close to the woods decided to investigate after hearing unusual noises emanating from somewhere deep within the forest. Following his friend, they spent nearly an hour searching the dense forests without finding anything. They made the decision to go back. However, they began to hear the grunting sound once more as they were returning. And as soon as they turned their cameras to the other side, they saw a frightening thing that resembled an alien sitting next to a tree. When the cryptid realized it had been captured, it turned to face the boys and glared at them with its terrifying glowing eyes. They were eventually forced to flee back to their house. Spooked deer. Captured in North Carolina, a deer could be seen grazing on the ground. However, it stops abruptly there and looks about as though something has startled it. Not seeing anything, just as the deer keeps on, it notices something once again, and a bit larger this time around. Just take a peek at how it frightfully dashes to the other side and turns back. What then might it be? Something like a demon? An untamed animal? However, why wasn't it captured by the camera if it was an animal? So, what was it actually? Bipedal deer. A woman was taken aback to witness the peculiar behavior of a herd of deer that had wandered up to her house as she was filming them. Everything was going along normally until all of a sudden there was a wave of unease among the herd, and some of them fled, leaving the others behind, until one of them chose to rear up on its back legs in order to display the object's hidden power. Frightening the women and the other deer, none of them had ever witnessed this action in such a way. When people began referring to it as a shape-shifting alien, researchers discovered nothing remarkable. Surprisingly though, deer frequently use this tactic to scare and subdue their opponents. Ghost on tree. The hazy apparition with glowing eyes was photographed in Brazil and gave the onlookers a spooky feeling. A humanoid entity perched atop the tree appears a little perplexed as people point at it. However, because it resembles an extraterrestrial, the fact that it was just as afraid of the humans as they were of it raises suspicions. It is challenging to understand what these individuals are genuinely attempting to accomplish, because they are communicating in a foreign tongue. It's evident that despite their fear of its peculiar appearance, they are attempting to somehow capture it. However, it vanished abruptly out of nowhere, leaving the onlookers in disbelief, since they were unable to determine what it was. Tired moose. Animals seem to have a habit of becoming caught in the most unlikely locations. This time, a moose became lodged in a tire swing. A man was astonished to see the moose outside the house during the day because it was severely trapped. And then, at first, attempting to save it with a large stick, the moose was already scared, so it proved to be of little assistance. In order to try to save the tree by sitting on the stop, the man had to climb the tree. Even so, it was not simple. For once, though, it worked, and then watch the moose return without hindrance. And here's another moose who was spotted crossing the road, trapped in a mesh tree swing. Sasquatch shadow. It appears here for a split second before disappearing. What may this flashing object be that was captured on camera? Many people thought the animal captured on camera was a mountain lion or possibly a bear, but when the footage was shown to the investigators, they discovered that the animal was actually a baby Sasquatch. This is due to the animal's incredible speed and the plausible head that appears on the camera, indicating that it's a bipedal animal. A second identical creature was seen on video, most likely excavating on the forest's ground. It appears to have limbs and legs similar to the rumored Bigfoot. So, is that video footage of a Bigfoot? Or do you have a better explanation? Tell me, please. Biped wolf. Driving close to a forest after midnight, the motorist had to apply the brakes right away after seeing something strange. No, it wasn't a Yeti, but rather a wolf ambling on its hind legs. He was already terrified of the stories of the Bigfoot. But hold on a second. Is that a wolf, really? Its slender limbs, peculiar feet, and hardly noticeable ears don't really give it a dog-like appearance. However, it does possess the wolf's fuzzy-like skin. Is that a wolf or some other kind of animal? Tell me what you think of the odd wolf photo. Intruder alert. When the camera was recording the bald eagle's nest, something unsettling happened. Initially, the mother eagle is observed tending to the eggs and then taking a brief flight away from the nest. Upon her return, another eagle joins the nest. Even though the female recognizes the predator's plan, she waits for the initial move while sitting on the eggs. However, it continues to vocally warn the eagle. Not one to go away empty-handed, the male eagle steps forward a little. He was going to charge the one who was seated when she sprung directly in front of him, knocking him from the tree. She then checks the area to make sure her eggs are secure. coyote and deer. There was a wounded deer visible in front of the trail camera. Two tiny but ferociously hungry coyotes are standing behind it, waiting for the buck to faint so they can get to the meat. Even though the buck is awake, it appears as though it has given up on life because it does not defend itself from the coyotes that are getting closer. However, the coyotes don't always come out on top in the end, just like this. The mother deer appears to be in front of the camera, gathers her two fawns, and leaves the woodland after realizing that a brush wolf has been pursuing her young. And then, a little while later, the mother deer was spotted once more, sprinting after the coyote and narrowly missing it by a few inches. She was later observed circling around a bushy tree in an attempt to capture the fleeing coyote. She was unable to do so, but she managed to save her young from the predators. Hyena chases wildebeest. The coyote surprised the people by capturing the herd of wildebeest during the safari that came rushing towards them. One of them is visible breaking away from the herd, even though the others adhered to the directive to stick to the herd. And seizing the opportunity, the predator began pursuing it, even though it had moved a short distance and the coyote was still having difficulty catching up with it. After a while of running and chasing each other, they were both observed once more. But this time, the wild beast was seen fighting the predator. But after growing weary of the chase, the beast eventually met his demise.
From haunting creatures residing under your bed to giant beasts of our worldly domain, we have a plethora of exciting, intriguing, and captivating videos that would cure your daily cravings of spooky, unresolved mysteries. So, grab your popcorn and come along on this roller coaster journey. Fear beneath the sheets. Imagine sleeping peacefully in your bed, and a strange intruder disturbs you from your sleep, leaving you baffled and haunted for the rest of your life. A quiet room filled with pitch-black darkness, a type of darkness that would add more silence to an already strange atmosphere. The video began with a man waking up to some unusual sounds from his deep sleep. Removing his blankets haphazardly, he began gawking at different corners of his room, and as soon as he panned away to his right, an obnoxious creature came to his welcome. This creature had the most terrifying appearance. A lurking shadow of death, a pitch-black darkness with satanic eyes, was gawking at that helpless man while slowly disappearing into the night, its sharp, pointed claws leaving imprints of its presence. Seeing this vicious scene of terror and horror, the man jumped out from his bed, breathing heavily as he attempted to run away from the room. A sight of terror that might have made you guys jump out of your beds, too. Strange imposter in the woods. Deep in the woods, a family found themselves in a strange situation when their usually friendly dog started barking intensely in the middle of the night. A deafening silence filled with intense howling made the house owners a little worried. They ran towards their front door to check the severity of the matter with torches in their hand. Meanwhile, the dog was still barking at the woods as if he had seen something peculiar and haunted. The couple began pointing their torchlight at the dense forest in front of their house. And to their amazement, they found small glowing eyes roaming in the thick forest at this hour.
Oh, there's a bunch of them. Where are they? They're blinking, y'all.
There's lots out there.
Are those coyotes?
I don't know, but they're there.
Yeah, these are coyotes.
Speculations began haunting them, as it was unusual to discover such an enigmatic creature in the middle of the night. However, to put an end to their worry, the creature revealed itself, and you won't believe it, guys, it was nothing but a big wild cow roaming and grazing through the woods. A burst of laughter broke in, and they heaved a sigh of relief as this poor creature could cause no harm to anyone.
Oh my God, y'all.
There's something just
it's
it's a cow. That's why his head was going up and down.
A wicked child. A ghost hunter set out on his other deadly venture. He chose a dilapidated house, torn and ruined brutally throughout its surroundings. His adventure began filming the wreckage of that seemingly haunted place. The air was filled with untamed voices, howls of wild beasts, and deadly shrieks of unannounced creatures, all turning into a satanic clamor. With his torchlight, he began hunting for its prized possession, and in no time his camera caught something unruly, something vicious. It was a haunted figure that almost looked like a child with demonic ears. With its long hair, that set behind its elf-like ears, the eerie creature stood still for a while, unveiling his demonic presence in front of the camera, and then quickly hid behind the wreckage. The hunter followed him around the house, but all in vain. It looked as if the haunted creature wasn't shy of the camera, and it only wanted to cast his satanic presence over the hunter. Legendary sea monster. A beautiful lake situated in between the frosty mountains, a breathtaking sight, and indeed a perfect travel destination spot. But can you believe that this lake might be home to fantasy creatures and spooky monsters? It all began when a man started to record this alluring scenery in search of a legendary creature that only had its existence limited to books. However, some had claimed that they had witnessed that sea-dwelling beast. After some time, unruly ripples close to the shore caught his attention. The man diverted his lens toward that disturbance in the glistening water. He zoomed over a sizable black tail, making all those ripples in the lake. The man claimed it to be the caudal fin of the legendary kraken. According to the sources, the kraken is a sea monster of humongous stature, and those black flaps documented in the video looked nothing like the kraken's huge fins. Thus, it would not be appropriate to call it a kraken sighting, as it could be a giant or some other codfish swimming across the lake.
That puddle. What the hell's that? What the hell's that? There's something in the water, guys. Can you guys see that?
BIGFOOT encounter. An adventurous hiking venture turned into an eye-opening discovery that raised many speculations about the presence of this giant forest beast. The video began with a man recording the captivating nature of a dense forest, laden with towering trees, and its floor covered with thickly grown moss, almost giving it a carpeted appearance. Among this enchanting scenery, a black shadow peeked into the frame. It had a huge stature, like a giant covered in thick fur and long hair all over its body. The giant gradually walked toward the cameraman with all its glory and magnificence, defying the tallness of everything in front of it. With a sudden glance into the camera lens, the Bigfoot walked away from the cameraman, ignoring his invasion in its territory completely. However, this video doesn't provide any solid evidence to Bigfoot's presence, and these wild and unruly creatures won't spare human invasions in their habitat. Glaring eyes. Trail cam footage has been making headlines. However, the spotlight isn't on the animal captured by it, but on an enigmatic presence that the unblinking lens inadvertently revealed. In the vast fields of the forest, amidst the lurking darkness, an innocent deer could be seen grazing peacefully through the meadows. I know nothing exciting, but here comes the spooky part. If you focus on the left side of the footage, you'll see two large glowing eyes glaring through the darkness of the forest. These giant eyes kept revealing themselves for quite a few minutes, and then they suddenly disappeared into the darkness. This strange footage raised many questions about the creature hiding behind woods. Some claimed it to be Bigfoot's glowing eyes, whereas some pointed it as a forest curse dwelling through the fields. What do you guys think? Do let us know about your theories. A waddling creature. A driver recording his journey through the wilderness of the forest came across something peculiar and strange on his way. Through the bumpy road, in the middle of the forest, A moving object at the side of the road, playing with the puddle, caught the driver's attention from afar. Hence, on coming close to that creature, the driver zoomed in, and as soon as it began driving across it, this dark-colored creature swiftly sprinted into the woods with a dangling gait. Unaware of the nature of this peculiar animal, the driver kept recording it while driving past it. Now, coming to the question of the nature of this wild animal, if you look closely at it, you'd find white stripes across it, making it look like a wild skunk and not an eerie creature. The skunk, upon seeing the driver, ran into the woods as they are protective of their surroundings. Cursed photographs. Imagine taking pictures while hiking through a thick forest only to find a haunted spirit peeking through your photographs. Scary, isn't it? A similar series of events happened with a couple when they were enjoying their hiking venture in the mountain forest, unaware of the presence of spooky spirits wandering around. Upon looking through their camera roll, they were astonished to spot a strange presence behind them. At first, it seemed like a bird, captured while taking its flight, but as they zoomed over, a wave of fear ran across their body as there was a strange figure with a clear face peeking from the trees. A demonic presence, a satanic face trying to get in the frame of a happy couple like Curse. The couple ran checks over this footage. However, this case remained unresolved as the authorities were unable to locate any evidence regarding this strange encounter. Ominous nightmare. When your eyes suddenly open in the middle of the night, a normal person would usually encounter darkness and peaceful silence surrounding him, wouldn't he? But there are some people who would come across cursed creatures with their dreadful sight and voices haunting the surroundings if their eyes accidentally opened at a specific time, or you can say 3 a.m. In this video, a girl encounters a goat coming from behind the curtain. At first glance, it appears normal, but as the goat opens its mouth, waves of horrific sound reach the eardrums, making one hold his ear. The girl shifts her camera towards the clock, showing the dreadful time of the day, 3 a.m. In the meantime, the goat's shrieking voice, accompanied by the black tentacles coming out of its mouth and glowing eyes, can be seen clearly in the darkness of the night. This scene is truly terrifying for one sight, but the vlogger seems accustomed to this behavior of the goat and calmly closes the door on the goat, completely shutting it out of the room. The creature of Romania. This peculiar video began with a man recording himself while talking about the unusual sighting that occurred in the Romanian zoo. The man emphasized that such a creature had never been sighted anywhere in the world. However, it is enchained here at the Romanian zoo constraints. After the initial warning, the man entered a dark hall filled with other tourists and visitors. Among these usual voices, strange howls and cries were heard, which kept getting louder as the man moved further into the hall. At last, in the end, a colossal cage was seen with a dwarf-like creature with a distorted face and features, amusing the curious tourists with his unusual appearance and distinct howls. Wild intruder. Who would have imagined that, when you clocked out of your job, the next time you see your workplace, it would be in the coverage of a news channel portraying a horrific scene of a wild bear entering your workplace? It is a heinous sight, isn't it? That exact scene was recorded in the camera footage of Aspen Resort, where a wild bear was wandering around in the resort's kitchen. It is an abominable situation one must never encounter, but sometimes luck is not on your side. This luck ran short on the night guard of Aspen Resort, where he met the rile-up bear after hearing the rustle and bustle in the kitchen. At first, the security didn't come face to face with the bear, but as he slowly inspected further into the blind spot of camera footage, the wild bear flung out his sharp claws toward the poor security guard and tossed the poor guy at a feet distance, which probably was best as he sprung out of the door, while the bear also finds this opportunity to escape from that place. A heroic day. A daunting encounter took place on the streets of British Columbia, Canada, where a bear came in a face-to-face meeting with a little boy strolling along with his cycle in front of his front door. Upon seeing the boy, the bear walked gradually toward him in his quest to sniff the young lad. However, in this spine-tingling situation, the boy didn't lose his calm. Instead, he kept still and stared at the bear as he sprinted towards him. When there were only a few inches left between the kid and the bear, a man from behind plunged into the scene like an angel from the sky. With his arm wide open, he began hushing away the bear. Luckily, this trick worked, and the bear ran towards the car and hid behind it. The man still kept looking for the bear in an attempt to scare him away, and his efforts bore fruit as the bear quickly walked away from the neighborhood. Overall, it was an act of courage by both. The young boy kept his nerves under control, while the man courageously took charge of the situation and saved the day. Parental guardians. The forest is home to hundreds of mysterious creatures, and one such creature caught our attention while cradling its baby through a thick jungle. A spooky encounter occurred when a hiker recorded an inhumane beast wandering through the woods. A giant beast, draped in a dark attire from head to toe with all its magnificence, peeped through a huge rock. A bit cautious about his surroundings, it quickly passed through the field while glancing meekly at the camera lens. It was strange for such a wild beast to be observant about his surroundings, almost as if he was protective of something. Soon, this enigma unveiled itself when the gorilla-like creature came out of the bushes, holding its baby and then again disappearing into the woods. This incident reflects light upon the protective nature of a parent, despite its dreadful instincts and the presence of such enigmatic creatures in our worldly domain. Fields of fear? On a dreadful night, full of terror and deafening silence, in the middle of vast fields, a man found himself in a demonic ritual. It all began with a man wandering through vast fields with his torchlight, searching for his two faithful dogs. Following the howls of his dogs, he finally found one of his dogs barking towards a satanic creature, a demon with the head of a goat, cradling his numb dog and walking away. The moment he shifted his attention from his barking dog to that satanic figure, his other dog was taken into possession by another satanic creature, leaving the man breathing heavily in this moment of terror and angst. Skinwalker Ghost. The car dash cam footage shows a white figure crossing the road, moving with a strange, almost animalistic gait. As it comes closer to the car, the figure's true nature becomes clear. It's a skinwalker. The skinwalker's skin is matted and unkempt, and its limbs are too long and thin to be human. As the car drives away, the skinwalker disappears into the darkness. The driver is left feeling shaken and unsure of what they just witnessed. Skinwalkers are said to be powerful and dangerous shapeshifters in Navajo culture, able to take on the form of any animal they desire. Crossing paths with one is considered a bad omen, and many people believe that seeing a skinwalker can bring misfortune or death. The vicious rattlesnake. From the deadliest creatures of the outer realm to the wild, slithering animals of our domain, the world is full of vicious encounters. Just like in this video, a man showcases the true nature of a rattlesnake. With its intense buzzing sounds, the rattlesnake was generating a sense of fear in its surroundings. Unafraid of the vicious trap of the rattlesnake, the man kept recording the dreadful species. Its glaring eyes remained fixated on the intrusive man. The apparent wrath in his cold eyes was enough to devour any dwelling prey, and its continuous rattling tail was enough to haunt nearby creatures. Aware of the lurking danger, the daring man, being cautious of actions, kept recording this reptile as he was fascinated by its constant rattles. Satan in the bushes. In the vast fields far from human neighborhoods and in the close vicinity of the dense forest, a man began recording some strange movements. Behind the withered bushes around a tall electricity tower, something peculiar and a shadowy figure appeared. As the observer recorded the video from afar, hence only it was impossible to gauge the size of this eerie creature. Only 2 sharp horns with pointed round tips are visible in the video, giving it the appearance of some bull or a mountain goat. Nonetheless, the creature looked creepy in its attire, almost like a cursed satanic goat peeking through the bushes. Creepy settlement under the bridge. In this blurred video of an underbridge settlement surrounded by thick-grown vines and wild bushes, an observer witnessed something weird. To find out the cause of this unusual activity, the man hops on a journey to find out the truth about these vague movements. As soon as he went under the bridge, heaps of wild twigs and branches welcomed him, all hiding the entrance of a long bridge, giving it an appearance of ambush to protect the unknown. The man was ready to make his first step into that horrid place, but soon rushed home because something supernatural had made him lose control. As soon as he saw that apparition, he was caught off guard and stumbled on his shaking steps, but within a second he gathered courage and ran away. Living footballs. Have you ever seen a giant rolling ball swaying across the woods? Can you believe that these giant balls are alive? They are these fascinating creatures that can compact themselves in a ball to travel greater distances. It is a rare sight to witness armadillos in their unpacked form. However, a trail cam was successful enough to capture these creatures in its memory. Amidst the dark jungles, surrounded by sky-high trees, a cute little animal gradually marches forward with a slow gait in open fields. This adorable species only appeared briefly with its tiny feet tiptoeing through the grassy areas and then disappeared into the woods. Vicious werewolf. A trail cam recording captures a spine-chilling moment of a werewolf lurking behind the bushes. The eerie footage shows the creature's silhouette pacing back and forth before it suddenly stops and looks directly at the camera. Its glowing eyes reflect the light from the camera, and it seems as if the werewolf was aware of its presence being recorded. The creature's movements are swift and sudden, and after a few minutes it becomes agitated and disturbs the camera, causing the recording to end abruptly. This unsettling footage will leave viewers with goosebumps and questioning the existence of these mythical creatures. Lion's Feast. Recorded by a helpless tourist, this video is enough to send shivers down your spine as you question the unpredictability of a human's mortal being. Who could have thought that a fun adventure at a safari park could turn into a life-ending trauma, a horrific incident that could devour your loved ones' lives? The video began with an older man strolling through the open safari fields and into the lion's den. A daring move, isn't it? And this tiny mistake cost that man his life. Triggered by the sudden intrusion into its land, the lion sprinted towards the old man. Unfortunately, the old man, due to his lean body, couldn't keep up pace with the lurking danger. Hence, the lion seized him the moment he was about to step into his safe zone and dragged him away towards his old hiding. There, he devoured him into sizable bites, with cries of help and shrieks of helplessness echoing through the safari.
Somebody help, please!
He's gonna go!
Hunting gone wrong. A hunter holding his gun upright, pointing at its aim, was breathing heavily in a dense forest filled with vicious creatures and deadly beasts. With shaking hands, he kept walking towards thick bushes. To end our curiosities, a giant grizzly bear plunged out of the bushes, slowly made its way toward the man, and then hid again behind dense foliage. One must have thought that the hunter could quickly escape this terrible situation had he used his gun correctly. But there's more to the scene as another grizzly bear cub pops from a bush. According to the hunter, there were 3 cubs with their mother bear. Thus, it would have been inhumane for him to shoot her, as the mother was being protective of his kids. An unusual friendship. What is more innocent and purer than the friendship between a human and an animal? It seems like there isn't any. A man gently opens his door to welcome his animal friend with a sweet and comforting voice, calling it Buddy.
Buddy.
To have an evening coffee or beverage at the door pavement with his doe-eyed deer friend. An adorable deer swiftly reacts, comes in the direction of the familiar voice, and enters the old man-lit house where his human friend offers him a snack or two. The doe-eyed deer munches on the snack dearly, and this scene warms one's heart.
What's up, dude?
The purity of this scene is unmatched and unparalleled. Enigmatic encounter in forest. Who doesn't like to stroll in the morning, breathing in the fresh air? This type of exercise is best for relaxing one's mind and removing any negative thoughts. But during this peaceful stroll, suddenly, an eerie presence engulfs this moment of peace. This feeling was felt by an individual peacefully walking on a track surrounded by dense forest. This individual slowly pans out his camera towards the dense forest. This individual sees nothing but plants of different species portraying their colors. But as he shifts his camera in a particular space, at first, it appeared as a blackish shadow. But as the camera zoomed in, two eyes with a blackish hue stared back at it, making this phenomenal encounter a thrilling sight, enough to keep one awake for days. The wild lioness. In the stillness of the jungle, the hunter came with the thought to hunt an elk and mentally prepared himself for all the possible situations, but none prepared him for a sudden encounter with a savage beast. The camera recording began with the hunter getting shocked by the sudden entry of the lioness. He aimed his Glock 27 at the lioness, who was dangerously close to him.
Get back.
The moment the lioness takes one step more, the hunter shoots at it, and the lioness moves backward. The frightened man shot again to scare it out, and surprisingly, it worked because after the second shot, the lioness stared down at the hunter for a while, and then left in the opposite direction while the frightened man shakily lowered the gun. Giraffe meets a baby deer. In the enigmatic embrace of the savannah, a towering giraffe stood sturdy, with its majestic stature casting long shadows, its curious eyes fixated on a delicate sight, a fawn, its lean legs barely able to support its own weight, nestled amongst the bumpy surface of emerald foliage. The mother giraffe is confused by the height difference. It inspects the baby deer, sniffs it, and lowers its neck to wonder how this tiny being can coexist in the same frame as gigantic creatures like us. But as the vehicle approaches, the baby deer runs out of the vicinity of the giraffe. Silent watchers. Amidst the darkness, there lie untamed creatures that wander through the fields unannounced only to curse the species from the real world. In such darkness, a trail camera was set up in the bushes to record the eerie movements throughout the night. A cloak of vivid smog prevailed in front of the lens, adding more terror to an already haunted atmosphere. A minor disturbance soon turned into a major blow when something unknown tried to move the trail cam, and it tumbled down suddenly in an isolated forest. What possibly could have done that? A gust of wind or a horrid creature? Let us know in the comments. Yahoos. Most of you must have heard about the strange creatures called Yahoos mentioned in the Gulliver Travels, but who could have thought that these creatures would jump out of the fantasy world into our worldly realm? For instance, in this video, a small, human-like creature is seen hopping through the woods, cautious about its perilous surroundings. Having no similarity to human dwarfs, due to his distinct head and long pointed ears, this creature holds a distinct uniqueness. Draped in dried leaves, this eerie being paved its way in front of the camera, only to disappear in a swift second. However, this video isn't enough to provide a solid testament to its presence, as it could be an AI-generated animation. Jamaican mermaid. Do you believe in mermaids? If not, then this video will baffle you out of your wits as it captures one of the most wanted enchanted creatures of the fantasy world. It all began when two men were exploring through a river surrounded by thick mangroves in Jamaica. They were casually gossiping around, capturing the essence of nature, recording the glistening water of the river. And then something took them by surprise. A peculiar thing was hiding behind a giant rock, and as soon as they shifted their camera toward it took a sudden dive into the river. The camera kept recording these unusual movements through the shallow, and suddenly the creature plunged out of the river, revealing its lustrous hair. This incident terrified them to their core, and they ran away without having the proper footage of the Jamaican mermaid. Alligator ambush. Notorious for its lethal death rolls, a giant alligator was spotted by the authorities in some water park, wandering through the fields unattended. Two men were sent by the authorities to handle this savage beast. They tried to capture it by blindfolding his eyes using a white cloth. This scheme didn't go according to the plan, and the man who was all set to grab his tail from behind fell into the alligator's trap. The moment he tried to have hold of his tail, the alligator snapped at him, grabbed him by his shirt, and bit his hand. Though the grip was loose, the man managed to escape the wrath of this unruly beast. Skinwalkers. Imagine vlogging deep in the woods on a foggy day only to gain the attention of a vicious, spooky creature. The video began with a boy talking about an excellent hiding spot, or a base that he made with his cousin.
I just wanted to show you guys my cool base that I made a while ago with my cousin.
He mentioned all the things surrounding his base camp, the fencing, and the unusual chair placements, not going to lie. The children seemed quite happy about his small hiding in the forest. Suddenly, while he was busy describing his base camp, he heard a strange sound. The camera quickly shifted towards the abandoned woods. At first, the boy thought it was some wild cow who lost his way, but within a few seconds, he was astonished to witness a white, slender creature running towards him at full speed. However, the boy managed to escape from this daring encounter.
Oh, frick!
Halloween nightmares. Let us dive back into spooky roadside incidents where spirits haunt you out of your wits and fear grabs you by your collar, leaving you in inexplicable situations. One such roadside incident occurred when a man was driving through a quiet road in the dark, and upon driving, he was met by an eerie creature on the side of it. To our astonishment, a very visible man came out of nowhere. He had the body of a man, but his face seemed distorted or burnt. In general, he had a very scary appearance, and trust me guys, this wasn't the only thing spooky about him. As soon as the driver moved past him, he started following the car almost like a cursed spirit. However, this can also be a Halloween prank. What do you guys think?
Night falls. Night, a time brimmed with starry sky and dreamy world, but at the same time, it's full of terrors, a breeding time for savage creatures, an awakening of creepy spirits that circles throughout the sphere. Such a spooky creature was caught in the backyard of a house where two lads were having drinks and conversing casually, but suddenly one of them noticed a strange presence. An enigmatic creature raised from the darkness with its vast, slender, bony legs that could easily cover more than a meter per step. As soon as this creature came into clear sight, the two individuals sprung out of their chair, throwing their beer in utter terror and fright. However, this inhumane creature didn't care about the sudden outburst and sprinted away from them. Eyes of the unknown. In the wilderness of an abandoned forest, a young man set out on an adventurous journey to explore the mystique nature of the enchanted jungle. Within a few seconds, he was captivated by an enthralling animal. As the camera focused onto that creature, it became still moment in a relatively sparse forest. At first glance, it appeared like an animal was protruding from the fallen log, but as it zoomed in, it seemed like a whitewashed skull with holes dogged in it. These holes appear to be black orbs of something entirely inhumane, looking dead straight into the camera. This video raised speculations about the credibility of such mystique creatures in our natural world. Bigfoot's menace. Mythical creatures are usually imagined as symbols, guardians, and breathtaking figures in folklore.
But among this visual splendor, there are other creatures so hideous and horrific that one wants to run away as far as possible. In the dimly lit security footage, an astonishing and creepy scene unfolds, where a figure in the rear view resembling the legendary Bigfoot can be seen throwing a heavy rock onto the nearby skunk, probably unaware of the terrific presence near him. The stone arcs through the air, narrowly missing its target. Startled by the sudden attack, the skunk darts away quickly. The footage captures a truly extraordinary moment, offering a horrific glimpse of such a creature. The forest secret. In a quiet and peaceful forest, far down from the noise and rush of people, a secret problem was affecting the safety of some hens living there. Being dangerous was sneaking in the dark, putting the hens at danger. The forest had always been a safe place for these birds, but one by one they were fading without anyone knowing why. To fence the hens, someone who looked out about them decided to take action. They set up a clever trap in the resort of catching the mysterious beast responsible for the hens' losses. They placed delicious grains and seeds inside the trap to attract the unknown violator. To catch this mysterious troublemaker in the act, the smart person initiated small alert cameras each around the forest. These little cameras were ready to record any wrongdoing by the offender. The forest now turned into a platform, with the trap and cameras acting as tools to bring justice. The charge to cover the hens had begun, and the entire forest was eager to break the enigma that had been bothering it. Tara's wildlife. Once upon a time, in a wild and lush forest, there lived an animal named Tara. Tara was a furry and nimble beast with a long tail. Tara was a true forest discoverer. With sharp claws and keen senses, it could climb trees and run through the green with ease. Tara's life in the wildlife was full of adventures. It would hunt for delicious treats like rodents and fruits, always on the lookout for an appetizing mess. Occasionally, it would indeed swim in the clear canals to catch fish. Tara had a family too. They would play together, chase each other through the trees, and educate the immature Taras the ways of the forest. Their home was a cozy den hidden amidst the trees, safe from utmost wolves. Tara's wildlife world was a thrilling and beautiful place, full of surprises, where it thrived as a clever and curious animal, a true master of the forest. The mysterious encounter. Once upon a time, there was a man who decided to set up a special camera deep in the quiet, mysterious forest. His plan was to capture movie of the wild creatures that wandered the forest, hoping to see being amazing. The first picture he took flashed a beautiful deer, its gentle eyes looking right at the camera. The man was thrilled with his first shot, allowing he'd succeeded in his operation. But when he checked the other picture, his excitement turned to fear. Rather of a wild creature, the photograph revealed being creepy and unsettling. It looked like a creepy, shadowy figure of a man, or perhaps indeed a police officer wandering in the timber. The man could not believe his eyes, and a tremble ran down his spine. The forest, once a place of wonder, now held a secret that transferred chills down his spine, and he knew he'd stumbled upon being far more mysterious than he ever imagined. The mysterious white ball. One dark and quiet night, a trail camera placed in front of a house managed to catch existent, truly mysterious. The camera's lens captured a strange, glowing white ball floating through the night sky. It moved with a creepy grace, nearly like a ghostly sphere. The sight was both alluring and puzzling, leaving the curious homeowner and anyone who saw the footage wondering about its origin and purpose. As the footage played out, it appeared as though the spiritual ball was on its own secret trip, gliding through the air in a way that defied explanation. The night's blanket added an air of secret, making it look truly more paranormal. Could it have been a slapdash balloon, a rare natural miracle, or being beyond our understanding? The enigmatic ball's appearance left the spectators with a sense of wonder and a touch of confusion as they pondered the secrets of the night sky. The nightly search for Mothman. On a dark and spooky night, a group of courageous investigators set out on a thrilling adventure to find the mysterious beast known as Mothman. Armed with flashlights and a sense of curiosity, they ventured into the creepy forest, guided only by the faint light of the moon. As they shoveled deeper into the dark, their hearts pounded with both excitement and fear. Every rustling flake and hooting owl transferred shakes down their spines, but their determination held them concerned. They participated tales of Mothman's creepy scrapes, which only fueled their search. Yet the slippery Mothman remained one step ahead, playing a clever game of hide and seek. The investigators chased after flashcasts and creepy sounds, but each time, Mothman sounded to disappear into the night.
What was that? I heard something. What was that? I heard something.
The night's adventure, full of expectation and suspension, left the investigators with a deeper puzzle to break, realizing that some secrets are best left to the imagination, hidden in the deep discipline of the night.
You're lighting it up like the 4th of July. Right.
Forest fight. As the chopper camera drifted above the thick forest, it stumbled upon a weird and unsettling scene. The lens revealed a group of beings carrying strangely, moving through the trees as though they were being watched. The atmosphere was tense, and a feeling of fear gripped the air. Out of the blue, one of the individualities pulled out a defense and fired a shot. The blaring sound shattered the stillness of the forest land, transferring chills down the spine. It was as if a suspensor movie had come to life. The chopper camera captured this unforeseen turn of events, making the observer feel as if they were right there, witnessing the chilly scene firsthand. The question that dallied in the air was, who were these mysterious people, and why were they in the timber? The movie, such like drama unfolding before the lens, left an unforgettable mark on those who saw it, reminding them of the creepy mystifications that nature can hide. The bear encounter. Once upon a time, there was a man who had a big drilling machine. He wanted to dig a deep hole in the ground. He allowed it was a fine day for drilling, so he started up the machine. The machine roared to life and he began drilling into the earth. But just when he allowed effects were going well, being sudden occurred. Out of nowhere, a huge black bear surfaced from beneath the ground. The man was hugely surprised and afraid. The bear had been resting there, and the drilling had woken it up. The bear's big dark eyes goggled at the man and they both set for a moment. The man slowed back down from his noisy machine, giving the bear some space. With a rumble, the bear raved and slow fell back into the hole it came from. The man learned a precious reading that day: always be careful when you are digging into the earth, as you know who might be resting below. Battle between polar bear and the dog. In the icy forest of the far north, a fierce battle unfolded between a polar bear and a husky doggy. The forest was silent, except for the soft crunch of snow under their paws. The polar bear, massive and white as the snow itself, stood like a frozen mountain, its muscles tightened. On the other side, the husky, with its polished and graceful frame, barked bravely, ready to cover its home. The bear swiped its powerful paw at the husky, but the doggy was quick and danced out of the way. The husky nipped at the bear's heels, trying to keep its distance. It was a formula of survival in the chilly nature. The bear roared, and the husky's bark echoed through the frozen geography. For hours, the two foes circled each other, testing their strength and determination. In the end, the husky's cunning and speed exceeded the bear's brute force. With one final jump, the husky landed a heavy bite on the bear's nose, causing it to retreat with a powerful roar. Brave bears escape. Once upon a time, in a thick, wild forest, there was a big, crabby bear who lived in a comfortable backyard. The bear had grown tired of the small space and feared for the freedom of the forest beyond his barrier. One sunny morning, as Benny was stretching his massive paws, he got an idea. He decided it was time to break free from his backyard confinement. With a heavy cause and a blasting crash, Bear knocked down the barrier that had held him caught for so long. It was a sight to behold as the awkward planks splintered and flew far and wide. Hyperactive and a little bit horrified, Bear made a run for it, charging into the lush green forest. He felt the cool breath on his fur, heard the chittering of the birds, and knew he was eventually home where he belonged. Police captured the mischievous bear. Once upon a time, in a quiet little city, being strange was passing. People woke up to find their cars all knocked up, and it was not because of a big storm. No, there was a bear on the loose, and it sounded to have a thing for cars. The furry troublemaker would come out at night and start poking around, breaking windows, and scratching the clear paint. The townsfolk were getting enough worried about their damaged cars, and they knew they had to do being, so they called the police. The courageous officers set up a plan to catch the bear red-handed. They put out some tempting snacks and left a trail of honey leading to a big net. One night, the bear took the lure, following the appetizing scent straight into the trap. The net fell and the bear was caught. The people cheered for their heroic police, who had eventually put an end to the car-stranding bear's darkness tricks. The city could sleep peacefully, formerly more, knowing their cars were safe from the mischievous bear's paw prints. Creepy crawlies captured on trail cam. In the quiet darkness of the forest, hidden from natural eyes, being mysterious was passing. Trail cameras, like silent guardians, were landing the secrets of the night. These were not ordinary night scenes. They were filled with creepy crawlies that made your skin twinge with conspiracy and shivers. Imagine a moonlit night, where black stepped and leaves whispered secrets. Suddenly, the trail camera caught a spider spinning its intricate web, glistering with dew. The creepy silence was broken by the soft fluttering of nightsticks, captured flight in their search for prey. The camera's lens revealed slippery critters like owls, their eyes flashing like burning coals, and a curious raccoon scavenging for night snacks. As the night wore on, the trail camera's observant eye disclosed a world, many ever confirmation. It was a spine-clinking trip into the quiet nightly life of the forest, where creepy crawlies took center stage, and the darkness held its secrets nearby. Deer's day and night, wandering. Once upon a time, in a big wild forest, there was a graceful deer. This deer, a beautiful animal with soft brown fur and gentle eyes, wandered the woods day and night. Every morning it would wake up to the cheerful songs of chirping birds and the warm beams of the sun. During the day, the deer would explore the lush green forest, nibbling on the sweet, sensitive leaves and sipping from the clear, cool canals that crossed the woods. The deer was always careful, keeping an observance out for the sounds of peril and looking out for its fellow forest familiars. As the sun would set, painting the sky with vibrant colors, the deer's adventure continued. The night brought a different kind of magic to the forest. The deer would foot still, guided by the steely moonlight and the stars' gentle beat, searching for food and sharing secrets with the nightly animals. In this alluring timber, the deer's wandering was an everlasting tale of coherence and wonder, day and night, in the heart of nature's grab. Eerie encounters. One dark and stormy night, our security cameras recorded being truly crazy. As the rain cast the windows, the camera's alert eyes caught a series of unexplained, creepy events that transferred shivers down our spines. First, a mysterious figure appeared in the backyard, masked in dark. It moved like a ghostly wisp, making no sound and leaving no trace. We watched in unbelief as it wandered through the theater, dissolving into thin air. Next, camera picked up unaccountable spheres of light floating through the living room. These immaterial spheres danced and flicked, illustrating the dark corners of the way before dissolving without a trail. To make effects indeed creepier, a strange, unearthly noise sounded through the empty hallway. Transferring the family into a fury. The camera captured their alarmed responses as they goggled at the unnoticeable intruder. These unexplained, weird circumstances continue to hang security footage, leaving us both beat and scarified with no reasonable explanation in sight. Deer's midnight wandering. Once upon a time, in a peaceful country, two curious deer named Daisy and Danny embarked on a moonlit adventure. The estate was covered in darkness, with the only source of light being the steely gleam of the full moon. As they ventured through the open fields, the high field whispered secrets to them, influencing gently in the cool breath. With their nimble legs, they gracefully bounded over small hedges and crawled around sleepy farm creatures. The night was alive with the alluring coherence of justices and the distant scream of an owl. Their eyes sparkled with wonder as they discovered the foamy dew on the field, reflecting the moonlight like 1,000 bitty stars. They nibbled on tender shoots of grass, savoring the darkness snack. The world appeared different at night, mysterious and full of magic. Side by side, the two deer wandered the estates, their hearts filled with the joy of exploring the quiet country under the observant eye of the moon. Huge ape caught on cam. In a deep, mysterious forest far down from the rush and bustle of natural life, a retired secret unfolded. One day, a stir-actuated trail camera captured being extraordinary. The footage was blurry, like trying to see through a misty window, but the sight was unmistakable. A colossal black ape-or-such-like animal. Its massive form moved gracefully through the thick leafage, its long, dark hair rustling in the wind. The timber sounded to hold its breath as this mysterious being passed by. With each step, it left behind a trail of wonder and admiration, alluring anyone who came off upon the footage. The critter's eyes were hidden in the dark, adding to the conspiracy and riddle enclosing it. This fugitive monster, being on the circumferences of our understanding, torched the imagination of those who watched the footage, leaving them with a sense of wonder. The mysterious coyote. In the serene mountains covered in snow, a camera captured an incredibly rare sight. It was a moment like no other, an uncommon sight of a mysterious creature. Instead of its typical haunting and wandering, a coyote was spotted doing something quite out of the ordinary. It was perched high up in a tree, munching on berries. This unusual scene left everyone astonished and perplexed. After all, coyotes aren't known for climbing trees, and this particular one appeared different, as if it held a secret. The mystery of this unique coyote remains unsolved, leaving everyone curious and longing for answers. How did it manage to climb that tree? That's the burning question on everyone's mind. It was an extremely rare event captured in this clip. The image of this puzzling coyote has stirred immense interest and curiosity. People are eager to understand this mysterious behavior, hoping it might uncover something new and intriguing about these creatures we thought we knew so well. It seems the snow-covered mountains hide more secrets than we could have ever imagined. Creepy humanoid. The home's CCTV captured a mysterious and eerie creature moving like a crab, walking on 4 bent legs across the road. Its appearance was unsettling and strange, leaving viewers puzzled about its identity. The sight was rare and enigmatic, sparking various speculations. Some thought it was a mutant dog, others suspected it to be a creepy alien. This moment filled anyone who saw it with fear and mystery. On the other hand, some strongly believed it resembled a ghoul, a demon-like or monstrous humanoid rooted in pre-Islamic Arabian religion. In modern stories, a ghoul typically refers to an undead humanoid creature that feeds on human flesh, quite horrifying and terrifying. However, the true nature of this cryptic creature remains a creepy mystery, giving chills to the camera operator and those nearby. The secret of this eerie being remains undisclosed, leaving everyone with a lingering sense of unease. Three-eyed creature. The camera caught a mysterious, uneasy clip. This video that was recorded is very cryptic and filled the air with spine-chilling and fear. In this video, the two friends are walking on the woodland. They wanted to test their new trail camera in these woodland. They faced the camera towards a spot where they thought wild animals might be left overnight. They returned to see what they'd caught on camera. When they come to check what camera had recorded, the friends were very shocked, and everyone who viewed this video also shocked and horrified. There was a creature with 3 glowing eyes hiding in the bushes. It was looking very unfamiliar and scary. That held those operators or viewers in suspense and terrified. The air was truly enigmatic and fearful. The 3 eyes of this creature or being was very eerie and frightened. They are glowing and illuminated. Was it a paranormal creature or something else? This was looking very spooky. That was still hidden or unrevealed yet. No one can point out what it was. Mysterious night figure. On a dark and moonless night, a peculiar incident unfolded in front of a home security camera. The camera, a silent observer, recorded a scene that sent chills down the spine. It captured a mysterious sight on the front lawn, enveloped in an air of mystery. From the dark, an unknown figure emerged, moving in an unexpected way. The figure seemed bent over, like a ghostly shadow caught on camera. But what was unsettling was not just the posture. It was the distinct impression of age that clung to this mysterious being. Its stooped back suggested an elderly appearance, as if time had twisted its spine. Oddly, the figure moved urgently, darting about with an unclear purpose, leaving its intentions unknown. The night was draped in mystery, and this strange sight became the talk among concerned residents. Speculation spread, but no one could identify this mysterious apparition or understand why it ventured out into the quiet night. The figure vanished as suddenly as it appeared, leaving behind only unanswered questions. These mysteries continued to haunt the curious minds of those who dared to ponder the unexplained and inexplicable. Killer clown. A strange and unsettling video emerged from a deep forest, puzzling both the operators and viewers. They witnessed a spooky clown figure that made them feel uneasy. This eerie clown was seen walking among the trees, only visible through the night vision of the trail camera. Strangely, it seemed like the clown noticed the hidden camera and confidently moved toward it. The reasons behind this mysterious figure's presence remained unclear. Why would someone be in a forest at night dressed as a clown? Was it a ghostly being, or just someone with an unusual hobby for late-night forest walks? The unexplained nature of this odd encounter left everyone confused. In the midst of the dark forest at midnight, the clown's appearance created a genuinely eerie and unsettling atmosphere, prompting numerous unanswered questions. A bulldog versus mountain lion. In the midst of a rugged mountain, a trail camera captures a predator mercilessly hunting its prey on a quiet, eerie night. Unexpectedly, another fierce predator appears, observing the same scene. Initially, a wild lion is seen devouring its meal until a bulldog meanders into the perilous territory. While the camera focuses on the bulldog exploring the area with confidence, it remains oblivious to the lurking danger of a stronger, more cunning force watching its every move. Like a looming shadow, the eyes of the mountain lion fixate on the unsuspecting bulldog, waiting to pounce on the intruder. In a swift and silent move, the mountain lion leaps towards the bulldog, leaving the video's conclusion uncertain, whether the bulldog escaped or fell prey to the mountain lion's attack. The mysterious creature. The camera recorded something strange in the deep forest. It showed a creature hiding behind a tree, unlike anything anyone had seen. This mysterious being looked like a bird but was really unusual. Its face was spooky, with deep, dark eyes and a skull-like appearance without any hair. It made everyone who saw it feel puzzled and unsure. This creature was so different from anything known in the woods, making everyone suspicious and curious. The sight of this mysterious creature left people wondering and fascinated by its oddness. The forest kept this strange creature a secret, making sure nobody could figure out what it really was. Zombie moose. Deep in the rugged mountains, a camera captured an unusual sight. Two moose, quite different from the ordinary ones, strolled leisurely across a small grassy area. Their presence was mysterious, their movements like a silent dance. Their huge, plate-sized horns stretched out in all directions, giving them an enigmatic look, along with an abnormal growth of skin hanging from their neck that was exceptionally large. These moose were far from the usual. Their graceful, mysterious way of moving raised many questions. Their massive, ancient-looking horns carried an air of fascination. As the recording played on, one couldn't help but wonder about the secrets held by these eerie creatures. They remained an unsolved mystery for anyone who encountered them, waiting to be understood. In that mountainous territory, they stood as guardians of the unknown, leaving a curious impression behind. demonic ritual. Walking through a dangerous forest on one of the darkest nights ever, the camera caught sight of a scary ritual with evil creatures. The traveler, terrified, had stumbled upon a satanic gathering by mistake. In the video, a huge figure with horns and bloody eyes stared menacingly at the scared traveler who interrupted the ritual. The tension and fear were palpable in the heavy breathing. Soon, the sinister beings noticed the intruder, and everything turned dark, making the ritual disappear suddenly. The demonic figure, along with his unholy followers, surrounded the traveler like a threatening shadow of death and despair. The camera quickly showed the traveler trying to escape. In the background, you could hear the traveler's terrified cries, which were drowned out by the wicked laughter of Satan and his followers, echoing through the night as they captured their victim. A mystic forest serpent. Picture wandering through a spooky forest where tall trees reach for the sky but appear faded and dull due to thick enveloping fog. This fog shrouds the forest, creating an eerie atmosphere, a perfect hideout for scary creatures. Now imagine a scene captured by a camera in the real world. A web-like structure entwines the trees, resembling a colossal rope with spikes of green and yellow. This twisted rope varies in length, turning the forest into an intricate maze. Surprisingly, as the camera focuses on this strange structure, it subtly slithers, slowly coiling around the trees. Amidst eerie noises and darkness, the camera continues to explore the size of this enormous rope, only to be interrupted by a massive snake. A serpent nearly 20 feet long, consuming the life out of those trees. This mysterious creature possesses a skull-like head with deeply hollow eyes, sharp teeth unlike any other anacondas seen before. It appears poised to engulf its prey in one swift motion, leaving no trace behind. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this video entertaining, don't hesitate to show your support by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for even more thrilling content. And remember to ring that notification bell to ensure you're always in the loop for our latest updates. Until next time, stay curious and stay tuned.